I'll start the introductions again. Yeah. Okay, so family, we're there. Blacksit family, Blacksit family, Blacksit family. Welcome to our very first live stream. Yeah, we're actually live, finally. Bit late. We should have been on at 7:30, so apologies for that. Let me just move this a tiny little bit so I can get in the shots. Yeah, so basically, we are here, myself and Seth. I'm Juliet, and that's Seth. And we are Blacksit family. Adrian will be joining us shortly. And we've invited you to our very first live stream because of all the events that are happening. If you're new to Blacksit and you're just joining us now, Blacksit is all about your exit from the West to the best, okay? So leaving the West and coming to Africa. It's all about our mission to repatriate, relocate, and to also get reparations for everything that's been done to us. So Blacksit is all about that all-important repatriation. We left England and we repatriated to Africa, and we now live here as a family. And I did an interview with Wode Maya, and that started the channel. So that's just a brief background, a brief background into who we are and why we're here. So we've got some guests with us on the live stream who I'd like to introduce to you. And if you could introduce yourselves one by one. So we start with Moderna, and let everybody know your name and where you're from, if you wouldn't mind. So we'll start with you, Moderna.
Okay, my name is Modena, and I live in California. It's okay, Modena, it doesn't matter. I live in California, in the United States, so we're kind of in the thick of everything right at this moment. Do you want me to go ahead with the question? Do you want
no, we're going to go around and do introductions first, and then we'll go through the questions afterwards. So Sheila, please introduce it. Look at me, I'm forgetting everybody's names. But anyway, Sheila, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself.
Okay, guys, I'm Sheila, and I'm from London in England.
Lovely, thank you. I hope you told a lovely Charles for me, yeah, as well.
He's going to be on, but I'm not too sure where he is. So, you know, he must be on.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So next we have lovely David. David, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hi, introduce yourself.
Hi,
yeah.
My name is David, and currently I live in Luton, in England.
Thank you, David. And where's that? What country is that?
In the UK.
Okay. Okay. And then we have African Tigress.
Hello. Hi, everybody in the chat. Thanks, Juliet, for hosting me today. My name is African Tigress. I'm a YouTuber from Nairobi, Kenya.
Lovely. Thank you. And Madarbeth, am I saying it right?
Mother Earth.
Oh, Mother Earth. Sorry, I can't see because it's quite like I'm trying to get Wode Maya, so just bear with me as I'm getting him as well. Mother Earth, please introduce yourself. Oh, so we can only have 6 people at one time.
Hi, everyone in the chat. This is can you all hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I'm the US of A. I'm in Tennessee, and I've been following Juliet ever since she was had #1, I think. And now she's up to 28. I cannot wait to repatriate back to the Gambia, to motherland, and I'm learning each and every day, every time you guys come on. I'm super excited to as soon as they open those borders, I'm on my way out. I'm coming straight to you, Juliet, straight to you guys.
Oh, you listen, definitely come. So as I was saying, there's a subject to today's subject matter, and it's an important one given the context of everything that is happening around the world at the moment. And I'm sure everyone here, you know, has been, you know, receiving messages, seeing images, and you know, we've all been kind of traumatized by everything that's going on. And now there are protests worldwide, protests against authority, protests against lockdown, protests against Black deaths in custody, protests against Black deaths full stop. And, you know, that we've had enough is enough. But amidst all of what is going on, amidst of buildings on fire, amidst of people having running battles with the police and police cars being on fire, amidst of all these things, do we actually think that anything is going to change? And what do we think the best thing to change is? Obviously, I Blaxit. So I say, you know, the best way to eradicate racism is to leave it behind and go live with your own kind. I've been saying that for a long time, and I sincerely mean it. That's why I'm living in Africa today. So what are your thoughts? I'll start with you, Modena.
Well, I think that most of us will have to leave the United States or England, whichever one it is, because this is systematic. It's systemic within the system for racism to be alive. And for us to eliminate that racism, yes, we need to move. We also need to have economic power, and we can only do that if we're in a place where we can, how do I put it? Where we can grow ourselves and where we can support one another economically. In the United States, I don't think everybody will leave. I think some of us will leave, like myself, and some of us will go back and forth. But the main thing is that for us to get healthy, we have to start loving ourselves, we have to start isolating ourselves, and we have to start promoting ourselves and understanding that we, you know, God put us here, and we are the ones. We're the originals.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I do agree. Can I weigh you in there, Sheila?
Sure, you can. Can you hear me?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to say that, as Juliet knows, you know, I love Gambia. I've done about 5 journeys. I've got my land out there, so I'm so coming. I'm on the move. It's going to be less than 24 months.
And I've got good news for you too. Anyway,
it will be more.
I have good news for you, but I'll tell you.
So, my darling?
I said I got good news for you, but I'll tell you another time.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, you know, my own personal journey is that I'll be going to Gambia. There's no doubt about it. This situation, that this terrible murder of George Floyd, it's just it's reduced me to tears on many occasions, as I'm sure it has with all of us. But I just want to reflect on what we're doing here in London. I was on the march on Sunday. I marched. I went on the protest. I had to go. I just had to go, even though I wasn't sure why I was going. I just had to go, and that was a great success of the unity of Black people in London and other races. To be fair, you know, really standing in unison and solidarity with us, in the same as the visions that is shown on the TV from America. And also today they had another protest, a bigger one, I think it is. We had quite a big one on Sunday. It must have been about 3,000-4,000 people, but this seemed to even be in excess of that. And what I will say as a positive thing, if you can look at any positivity here, because the question is, you know, will anything change? Is that a lot of young people were out there and they were saying their piece, you know, the anger, the frustration, the hurt, just the pain of it all is just too much. But within all of that adversity, we are connecting in a way that I don't think we've ever connected before. We're sharing information in a way I don't think we've ever shared information before. There is solidarity coming out of Africa. All of from the African Union, they have sent a letter to the American people. I don't know exactly where it's gone. Charlie will know more about this than I do. And Charles sent to me another letter that's come from the West Indian community. It's a combination of all the islands really condemning all of this. It's just been a complete sharing of information in a way that I've not seen, not in my lifetime, that we've had. So on a positive, we're all talking to each other, we're all loving each other, we're all caring about each other. And it just shows that if we actually pull ourselves together, we can just do amazing, amazing things. So
Absolutely.
from that, you know, we can take a small glimmer of hope. Whether anything's going to change with racism, I doubt it, to be honest, and that's been very cynical. Forgive me if I'm just dampening things down, but it will change for a while, but whether it's going to change indefinitely, I don't think it's going to. So I think the drive should be for all of us just to take ourselves back home to Africa. That is my whole ethos now. If we're going to do anything that's positive and constructive with ourselves, and I agree with Sister Medina, some of them won't come, but the exodus has to start. It has to be, and we have to go back to Africa, because at that point we are all one unit of people in one safe environment, and we can then do our thing and lock down the continent and just get on with it, because we don't need anybody else. That's just the truth. Sorry,
Okay, so what we're going to do is, as you have your say, we're going to exit you so someone else can come in. Is that okay? So everybody can have their opinion. We want you to keep watching, but we're going to let someone step across. Is that all right?
Get back onto it though, Jules. Will I be able to get back on? But no, will I be able to hear you still?
Yeah, if you can.
Oh,
We're doing it in a circle.
no problem.
So
No,
just hang in there backstage. We're going to bring you back.
no problem. Fine. Take care.
What I heard said by both Medina and also by Sheila is important, and that is that they don't really think that, you know, okay, so we're marching, okay, and there's a lot more people on the street. And I said this already in a comment, and people, you can get upset with me if you want. I said if this was for reparations, you won't be seeing so many people on the street. You would not be seeing so many people on the street if this was for reparations. And I've been saying that all the time. You understand? Can you please put it on silent? Yeah. So I don't think, do you think so many people will be on the street marching for reparations? What's things like for you, David? Do you think people will be marching on the streets for reparations? You know, do you think anything's going to change?
Right. Juliet, to answer you, you know,
The one thing I can say, I don't know if you left that open for anyone to answer, but the one thing I can say is of less than
Hang on,
5
Dave,
minutes ago, I got a text message that said,
mute Mother Earth for me a minute, please. Mother Earth, David's next, and then you're after African Tigress.
can you hear?
So go for it, David.
Yeah,
Go
Juliet,
on.
peace and love to you. Yeah, peace and love to you and all blessings.
No,
to
I was
your
saying
family.
that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Yeah, do you want me to
Go
carry
on,
with that?
David.
You sure? Okay.
Yes, please.
Right, first of all, I want to answer
David.
about the racism element. Okay. What we saw last week is something that many of us have always known exists. Yeah. The police brutality against our black skins has been something that's been going on for 400 years. Yeah. They're doing a job that they were there to do, which is the slave patrols. Yeah. And the whole constitution ensures they carry on doing exactly what they're doing. Yeah. Now, many of us who've been awoke and trying to let people know what's been going on, this was no surprise. What has been so ground shaking is that our people who have sort of been, you know, feeling a bit laissez-faire, and other people from other communities have now said no. Yeah, there's been a perfect storm. For us in the UK and obviously people in America, there's been the isolation of COVID. So people have been at home. Yeah, there's mass unemployment, especially first of all for people of black skin. Yeah, and that with what's happened last week has energized us to connect. I've never seen us connect as a people as much as we're doing right now. Yeah, racism is doing what it's meant to do. It's a race to ensure the dominance of a certain race against us. That's the job of racism. All the cards are being stacked to ensure that we remain in the situation that we are. Yeah. The only way it can change is if people allow themselves to accept that they're no longer going to have the privilege. People are not going to give away the privilege they've had for centuries, to allow us to be able to be treated how we should be treated. So racism is like a Titanic.
Yeah.
It's gone so far off course. For it to come back has to take so much aligning figures. Now, in terms of ourselves, for me, what we're doing right now, what people are doing behind the scene, which is to protest, to mobilize, to strategize, to organize, is what has to be done to get us to where we want to, where we control what happens with our bodies and our futures. Now, for me, 1960s, the Black Panthers was an opportunity where, as a people, we organized, and we know what happened. We know what happened. It got destroyed because they didn't want us to be in a situation where we uplift ourselves, we build as a community, because that's dangerous. So for us to change the tide, it's not about having support of people of other races. That's great. We want that. We encourage it. It's about Black people ensuring we appreciate each other, and we build and we plan and we create economic strength together to be a force that ensures that we get in the bargaining position and we control the narrative. So to change everything needs that to happen. And that's going to be the most ground-shaking change we can ever have. The Ubuntu, the unity of Black people is what will change. And what happened last week was the fire that lit it off. And the youth are showing us and leading us as elders how to do this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, listen, I'm going to ask you one last question, yeah? So do you think all them people be on the street if we were marching for reparations, yes or no?
Hello, is it my turn?
Why is there silence? I don't understand.
Oh, no, I didn't get you. Is it me? Is it my turn to speak?
I was just asking David one last question. I said,
okay.
David.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Do you think that they would be marching on the street with us in those numbers, if we were marching for reparations, yes or no?
That's such a simple answer, which is a lot more complicated. The fact is, I will say no, and I'll be quickly short on this. I don't take the time. Listen, you're asking people to accept the change of a situation which has benefited them for 400 years. The wealth of the world, the West, America and UK, was built on what? On us being used, our labor, our resources to build the wealth of the world, of the West. Now, they're not going to give that up. And the people on the street right now, some of them do not know nothing about it. They're out in the street, some of them, because it's COVID. You've had nothing to do. There's someone's died and we want to get out there and it looks great and I can put my fist up and say, yeah, I'm part of the unity. But will you give up the privileges you have had for 400 years and let us now have the seat at the table? And I don't believe we're going to get a lot of those people doing that. But that's my belief.
Yeah, so we're trying to get the glare off, so we're using different lighting techniques. Okay, so basically, the other thing that I wanted to go to is African Tigress. I want to thank you, Peter. I want to thank you, Sheila, and I want to thank you, Modena. We're going to bring you back in, but we're just going around so we can invite everybody in. So next up is African Tigress. The question is, with everything that's been happening, all these, global protests, riots, deaths by police, terrible killing, and people are being killed. I was just seeing that some people were attacked or killed in London. I mean, there was a Gambian that was killed in America last week. There are so many deaths. There was a woman that I saw actually and I haven't been able to get all the facts on it. But I was so horrified because she was running because she said her daughter had been attacked, and she was running down the road. This is in the video that I saw. And as she's running down the road trying to get help, the police jumped out of the car and shot her at point blank range 8 times. Now, I know we feel traumatized. If you're not affected by what's happening, you're not alive. You're not even breathing. Yeah. The question I'm asking anyone, with everything that's happening, do we really think that anything is going to change? You know, I said, like I said, I'm not relying on white governments to change anything for me. I'm getting out, and I got out. So that was our solution. Everybody's got different ideas. And so African Tigress, you're there on a continent. You know, you're doing your thing. You're a blogger. You're meeting different people, doing different things. How is it for you? And what do you think? Is anything going to change?
Well, personally, I honestly don't think much is going to change. I feel like at this point, there's been this phrase that people have been using, like the revolution has been hijacked. Clearly, that's it. These people are pretending to be with us. They're pretending that they are supporting us, but in real sense, their intentions, they're just doing it to destroy property so that it's going to be blamed on the Black people. Well, fine, people are demonstrating and all that, but why are people demonstrating? Has this ever happened before? And did they demonstrate? What changed after the demonstration? So as much as people are going to demonstrate, you must have clear, like, what are you pushing for? Is it just about going, demonstrating, marching, saying Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace, and all that, and then at the end of the day, you go back home? What are you pushing for as people are demonstrating? Are you pushing for reforms in the police force? Like, what's the agenda? What are you pushing for? We must have something that you are pushing for as you're demonstrating, because otherwise you'll just be going, you'll do it again. Next time, another person will be shot, and another person will be shot, and it will be the same thing over and over again. Fine, I know this time it has happened, and it has actually, like, the marching and all that, the demonstrations and all that, they've happened across the world and all that. And we have to look at situations like you mentioned, if it were reparations, would people be demonstrating? Why it's not for COVID lockdown and people staying at home? Most parts of the world, would these people still be in the streets? Would the people who are demonstrating be as many? For instance, in Kenya, we had people were marching in this to the US Embassy in solidarity. But why is it that 2 days before that happened, there was police brutality? There's this guy who was beaten and his nose broke. Why did these people go to march? So I love that people are coming together and all that, but we really need to look deeper in the issues. And when you're talking about these issues and all that, one thing we must also talk about, for me, I will talk from the African perspective. A lot of African, we need to work, there needs to be major reforms in the police force, because how often, I don't know which country in Africa that people can actually go and demonstrate just like that. The only good thing, the difference is, the good thing in Africa, there's no police who's going to run down and say, oh, you're from this tribe, because nobody can tell a tribe by just looking at them, oh, you're not Black and all that. Like, it happens whereby someone is racially profiled. So that means you don't, if you're not being racially profiled, so it means there will never be demonstrations about being racially profiled. But then there would be maybe cases whereby you don't have that opportunity to demonstrate. I was looking at the demonstrations that took place in Kenya at the US Embassy. The police were calm. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So police can be calm. By looking at it, I can clearly tell that the police are actually being as calm because there were white people there and the demonstrations. So one thing I must say is both in the continent and in the Americas and everywhere where there's racism and police brutality, there has to be reforms. As we're demonstrating, let's put it clear, we want reforms in the police force. I mean, that's the only way we can talk about things changing. If there are no reforms, it will be the same script over and over again.
That's what I think. That's exactly, I mean, you said it really well. I mean, I was just listening to you and also, you know, trying to add people to the stream. But yeah, it's really all about the situation going down once again. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I mean, you know, whose interest, whose benefit, who benefits from the change? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I've got one last question for you. Do you think if this was about Black people marching for reparations as well as justice, do you think that we would have so many people out on the street marching alongside us? Sorry? Sorry, so many white people, Adrian's corrected me. Apparently standing in solidarity. So, Age, you want something to say? Do you think so, Age?
No. Okay.
Good evening, Black. How are you all? No, well, I posed a question on Facebook actually, and I hardly get the proper response. But I don't think they will stand in solidarity with us for reparations. That's going to affect their pocket, you know. You know why people like when they attack their pockets. Yeah, they don't like that. But if things change in America for Black people will benefit, I don't think that's going to happen. Not anytime soon. I mean, I could see things might be changing a little bit, but they're going to come with something else.
Yeah.
You know, we just can't integrate with these people peacefully. And I think it's time that we start making our moves.
Yeah.
We have a great continent here that we need to develop for ourselves. The European, they have their continent. You know, the Asian men, they're protecting their continent. But we as African have to come back, you know, and do the same here. Africa is for the Africans home and abroad. We don't need to be there begging and living like underdogs in the West when we can actually come back here and build up in Africa. And this is what we really need to take control of our continent. You know, we need to come back here with our brothers and sisters and build Africa. You know, we are the only set of people that building everywhere else but our own home. So we got to come back here and build our own home. And I do wish the African government work with us to get us our citizenship and give us more encouragement so we could come and invest to help the Gambian brothers and sisters and other African brothers and sisters. So we, the diaspora, need to come back home. And we need to come back home, humble ourselves, and work with the Africans here on the ground. You know, and together we can make a stronger continent.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because we need to take control of our own lives.
Okay, so next on the stream, thank you, African Tigress.
Sure.
Like I said, stay backstage for us. We are going to come back with another question.
Yeah. All right.
So, what do you think? They'll be marching for reparations, yes or no? Just quick, yes or no?
No. No.
Thanks. Okay, we're going to go to Mother Earth. Mother Earth, can you hear us?
Mother Earth. Mother Earth?
Mother Earth.
Yes.
I think Mother Earth is
well,
frozen.
you know, less than 5 minutes.
Oh, she's here.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Mother Earth.
Hi, Mother Earth.
Yeah, we can hear
Can
you.
you guys hear me?
We can
Okay.
hear you.
Less than 5 minutes ago, I received a text message that said that President Trump again was going to enact the Stafford Act, and that we must all go out to grocery stores and get whatever we need immediately because we will be in a 2-week lockdown. I just got that less than 5 minutes before I logged into this call. We have done everything to build this country, and we're still continuing to feed the beast. And so what is this 2-week or this message going to do? This message is going to make us run out to the grocery store, buy more food, buy more supplies, and continue to feed the beast. And that's exactly what they want from us. Because it's not so much, what's the word I want to use? The main thing that we do is keep the beast alive, keep supplying their income, keep giving them our money, instead of saving our money and getting ready to move to Africa and take care of the motherland. You know, I met a gentleman from Ghana, and he said that yesterday, and he said that his family had been here so long, and that he could not return home because there were not enough adequate medical facilities to take care of the loved ones that are here that are sick. And that spoke to me, because why are there not enough doctors, Ghanaian doctors or Nigerian doctors, or that would be able to take care of his loved ones? I said, this is why we need to go back. We need to put our dollars, our education, our knowledge into feeding Mother Africa, and stop feeding this beast, because the more we feed it, the more control they have over us. And I'm done with it. I don't want to do another 2-week quarantine. I want you to let me out. Sorry, I get a little passionate. So I want to go home. I'm ready to get out. That's where I am.
The thing is that we're paying reparations for other people to go back to where they come from. So why can't they just pay for us to go back to where we come from? Where's your 40 acres and a mule? Where's your 40 acres and a mule? You think that all these people be marching down the street for your 40 acres and a mule? Mother Earth.
Mother Earth.
I think she's frozen again.
Oh, not frozen.
Can you hear me?
I don't want the 40 acres and a mule. If my forefathers couldn't get it, if my great-grandfather couldn't get it, keep your 40 acres and a mule, open the borders, let me get on the plane, and I'll leave. No problem, no questions asked. They can keep that.
Okay, thank you, Mother Earth. We're going to go next to Bourgeois Noir. You know? Thank you, Mother Earth. Okay, let's go.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Blacksit.
You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Gina, can you?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can now. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Holding it down, man. There seems to be a delay. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just a delay.
So, with everything that's going on, everything going crazy, you think that everything that's going on is going to have impacts? Do you think that everything that's going on, anything's going to change? Do you think anything's going to change?
I would have to be on crack to think that anything's going to change in America. That's not going to happen anywhere else outside of Africa. You have to be on crack or brain delayed or slow to not see everything that's happening. They're attacking us on all sides. They're attacking us in every way. Financially, they put this COVID out here to attack us. Now they have these cops, acting like robots, killing us like they're inhumane, like they're not human beings. They're like robots programmed in every city to attack Black men. No. The answer is no. I mean, we really have to look at it one way.
Okay, so
the way I see it is this. Race, and I said this before, but I'm going to repeat it, is a sport. We are Black. We're supposed to be better at sports than anyone. They play the game better than us when it comes to racism. Every nation on this earth is playing the racist sport. They look out for themselves. They look out for team one. I'm going to tell you, there are good white people, but they still wear the jersey. Some of them are active in the game. Those are the real racist ones. And some of them are on the bench. They sit there and they could talk to you on the other side of the bench and, offer you something cold to drink. But in the end of the day, when the team wins, they get up with their jersey and they walk away. That's that privilege. That's that white privilege. They're not going to let go of it. And the only thing we need to do is separate.
okay, so I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna get a little bit controversial. Yeah. So some people are saying actually you know, that many people are in solidarity to actually protect racism. Yeah?
Yeah.
To protect racism so that the racist word cannot be pointed at them. So it's a protectorist. It's a protectorate. Yeah? What do you think?
Repeat that. You said what? You were breaking up.
I said that some people, yeah, have been controversial. I've been on to some other sites and seen some other vloggers, you know, talking about what's going on, and some other black commentators, you know, who have said what's happening and the reason why there are so many people out on the street from different nationalities who are not black, why they're there is to protect. So white people are there to protect their racist position. In other words, you can say, well, look, I'm marching with you. I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist. And so that I can continue to protect racism, because you never hear a white person say they're racist yet even when they're leaving your neck.
Those are the ones that we need to be afraid of most of all. The ones that say they're not racist. I like the ones that say they're racist. I know where to classify them. It's the ones that sit next to you, the ones that talk to you, the ones that make it seem like it's all good. And yes, I don't care. I don't need to figure out which snake is good and which snake isn't good, which snake is poison, which snake isn't poison. They're out there doing their own work. Some of them are doing a lot of damage out there and blaming it on black people. Some of them might be attracted to black people, and that's their way of, you know, I don't know, meeting black people. I don't know why they're out there. Because to be honest with you, if they really want to stop if white people want racism to stop, it would be done. You see, the same way they came out there with guns and everything when they wanted to open up the state house in what state was that, when the governor didn't want to open up the state for COVID? They all came out with their cars with a whole bunch of guns. White people, when it comes to something that they truly want, they make it happen. They don't want the privilege to end. So, yeah, I can't get caught up in there. Those are all tricks. Those are games. That's not real. I don't know what they're doing out there.
Yeah.
Cool. That's nice. So tell everybody about your channel as well. And also, I'm going to come back to Tigress because I forgot to tell you both to tell everybody about your channels. So if you could tell people about your channels too. And I want to thank Woda Maya, who's there on the side. His internet's not great. Big stuff, he's going to jump in. So thanks, Woda Maya. So Tigress, if you could just tell everybody about your channel and give out your channel details.
All right. Thanks, Juliet. My YouTube channel name is African Tigress. I started sometime last year. We've grown over time. And my main aim, I started it as a traveling channel, like a travel vlog and all that. And I created another one. I have two channels, but let's talk about this one, the main one, African Tigress. At the moment, I'm using the platform to bridge the gap between the diaspora, the African diaspora, and the continental African. So we are always having live streams and conversations every day revolving investing, traveling, and doing business in Africa. So yeah, go ahead, support my channel. Check out African Tigress on YouTube.
Thank you. Okay, so Bijou Noir, I like your channel because you like controversial topics and you get, you know, the thought pieces going. I love African Tigress because she gets, you know, she gets my passion for Africa flowing. So yeah. I love both your channels for different reasons. And, you know, we are definitely bridging the gap because you're dealing with some of the pain, you know. Bijou Noir deals with some of the pain. Like one of your programs that I watched was Did They Sell Us?
Yeah.
And that is a very kind of, you know, controversial issue that we face and asking those questions. And the truth of the matter is on a very minuscule, you know, basis.
Yeah.
But it was out of proportion by white people, you know, for their own purposes, which is to create the disconnect between us and our continental brothers and sisters on here on the continent. because we are Africans born in America, Africans born in the UK, Africans born in the Caribbean, like Adrian.
Exactly.
You know, so Adrian, you lead in. So I want you to definitely tell everybody about your channel so people can go subscribe and watch your shows.
Thank you, Juliet. And I also want to thank Tigress. You know, I watch your shows every day, both of y'all. Anytime I see you guys pop up, I'm on it.
I didn't even know you had a channel, Gina. You never told me about it.
I didn't have it until much later, and then I still it's nowhere yet, but check it out.
All right.
You know, my channel is just about, you know, dealing with the pain of it. You know, I see there's quite a few channels out there, but you know, there's some of us that need to, between the Africans and the diaspora, we need to come together and deal with the spiritual, cultural, and emotional pain. Because it's been more than 500 years. You know what I mean? So we're all gonna be doing our part. You know, Juliet does her part. She's bringing me to Gambia. Got my land from yours truly, Juliet. And you know, I truly believe that, you know, sisters like Tigress, they talk about topics that you know need to be talked about, things that are going on in the continent. I'm more aware of now what's going on in Africa than I've ever been. But on my channel, it's really just about touching on what we're feeling. Hopefully, I could keep it that way. It's just Bijou Noir, right there, Bijou Noir. So please check it out. Share, subscribe, like, share. I would like to think that I'm a part of the Blacksit family extended, since I'm going to be in Blacksit City. So when I get to the Gambia, I hope to be able to definitely connect with Juliet and do, you know, work together.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you're going to see a video tomorrow that's going to interest you. I won't be saying very much after this, so that's it. So I'd like to introduce our next guest who's been waiting for a while, Grace. Grace. How you doing, sister?
I'm well. I'm fine. Yes. So this is Grace. I would say I want to say something, having lived in Africa and in England, that I think it's time the Black people stop relying on people to change their world. What we are given, or in terms of the systems we work for, we know we work at the bottom. And or the lowest level. If you're a nurse, you don't pass like grade 7. If you're something else that you see jobs for Blacks, they don't get to senior managers or service managers or directors because they get pulled down. And then you end up seeing like the current diaspora as well, working in this nation. They can't go back to Africa because it's very expensive in Africa. And take that further is that since their independence in Africa from their colonial masters, nothing was shared with the people of Africa. Certain people who formed those governments actually became very wealthy and continue to become extremely wealthy. And by doing what? By selling the resources of Africa. Now the rest of Africa comes enslaved by paying taxation that involves IMF, taxation for the colonials, the British, the French, the Chinese, and basically the cost of living is very high. The problem I see for diaspora is one, that it's going to be very hard for even the diasporas of the 20th century who are abroad to return to Africa, because you all knowing how expensive it is to live in Europe and in USA, you pay tax. And even if they think that Africans abroad have money because they keep sending, money, it's not because they have money. It's because, they have a heart to help. However, the people in Africa, they don't seem to have the same heart. They tend to, kind of, abuse that support. So if Africans abroad try to build projects back home, those projects are not accountable. People are not transparent. And therefore, you will see people who've invested in Africa for years, for 20 years, when they come back to Africa, they find all the money was wasted. People built their own houses or did their own developments and didn't care less about their brothers and sisters. And so there's that problem. The only solution to that is that the African as a whole continent has to have a policy for all Africans abroad. And I mean all Black Africans, whether they were enslaved 400 years, 200 years, or 100 years, or 50 years, or 20 years, they are Africans abroad. There has to have, every country in Africa must have a policy for repatriating its Black people, because you cannot as Black Africa countries be giving colonial masters exemption for their money, meaning that their money, when it comes to Africa, is donor fund, it's a donation or donor, and it means they don't pay taxes, they don't pay what you African diasporas who have been taxed abroad are then going back to Africa to pay. It means when you go back to Africa, you're paying another tax, which is a double tax. Now, if you're coming from abroad and going back to Africa as a Black African, you should have exemptions, total exemptions for businesses, for all your investments. You cannot have an Africa that gives benefits to other first world countries who have enslaved Africa. If Africa was getting paid for the correct price of tea that the British drink and the flowers, we would not have Oxfam in Kenya. We would not have Oxfam in any African nation. Okay? So there is no way that the children of Africa are walking without food and being told that they're paying tax for the rich dynasties that I see building themselves strongholds in Africa. Anyone in Africa can be a president, can be a leader. We don't want to see leaders that are there for 20 years. When our children are born, the same families are the presidents and the vice president and the God knows who. That tribal behavior of world dynasties has to go. This is an educated people. If we are coming from Europe, we are coming from abroad, we are very educated. We are not corrupt because we earn our money. If in Africa you find those people in high houses and in strongholds because they are very corrupt, and it's bad. It's bad for Africa. Okay? You cannot build.
I got to say that there's corruption everywhere.
You cannot
corruption everywhere.
Rich people. You cannot build Africa on donor money, whether it's Chinese coming to build railways or Chinese or God knows who. You cannot build that. Exactly. You will have to restart all your industries of sugarcane, of cotton, of manufacturing, and it has to be the Black people that do it. Okay? If you think your Black people are not disciplined, then you work on that. Okay? But until you work on your own people coming back and all of you form the solutions, then you're just, people are just quick, easy money for resources. The Congo, right, is a big country with minerals, and the people don't even have clothes, don't even have breakfast. You know why? How can another human being, what you're seeing in America is what is in Africa. Children are running in the bush because someone else would rather take the diamond and take it to another continent to make billions out of it. Take the minerals, take the oil. Why is Saudi Arabia as rich as it is, while Africa is a bigger continent with more resources, and we are the slaves? When we come to Europe, we are the scum. These leaders do not represent Africa in any way. You cannot sit in your palace and have so many, security, while the people are in Mazare, where the rain rains and children are being born on a flood. There's a river beneath the bed. Okay, so seriously, Africa,
I want to ask you a question.
Back? You want
I want to ask you a question.
Okay, fine. You want your diaspora back? This is serious. We need the diaspora to have a policy. We cannot pay double tax. We are not coming to pay tax for the debt worth billions that African leaders throughout the period since 1907 when the colonists landed there, and which you've extended till now, continue to collect debts. We don't need all this big wage bill of public servants and ghost workers in a government that don't do nothing. Okay, all this has to be cleaned up. Just like America wants it cleaned up, Africa must clean it all up. Okay, we need educated people. We do not need people who think I'm the leader of a tribe. I don't need a leader. I live where I live in Europe. There's no other person like me. So why should you tell me about a country has to have a leader from this tribe and that tribe and another tribe, and you fight over that? You know, you ruin your economy because of politics.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Yes.
Grace.
Yes.
So, as a diasporan, isn't it, Age?
Mm-hmm.
Can everyone hear Adrian?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
So, as diasporans, and we are coming back, and we are home in Africa, and we live in Africa, and we come from Europe where, yeah, you know, corruption is standard, absolute standard meter for life.
Yeah.
And so in everything from, you know, whether you're having to pay a congestion charge to whether you're having to pay a congestion charge to drive down the road or park on double red and, you know, or have your car removed, taken away and impounded, where they want to charge you, you know, hundreds, which then amounts to thousands, and they're actually going to take your car that you work for just because of parking penalty. I mean, the fact remains is that corruption is a worldwide phenomenon. It's not just wholesale. I read an article in the Independent newspaper, and it was saying that, you know, the most corrupt place in the world is England, is actually England. And of course, through colonization, we all learn.
Absolutely.
But the question that we were asking is, do we think that anything's going to change? And I agree with you wholeheartedly that Africa needs to have a policy in order to make sure that we have automatic citizenship. And that hasn't been the case for whatever reason. That has not been the case. But before you go, I just want you to share with people, you know, how they can hear more about you, and if they can watch you anywhere on YouTube.
Okay. Everyone's gonna have to do something. If they don't do something, they'll be left behind. Okay, every government now knows that everyone knows what's going on. The problem is Africa's still very quiet. If Africa sorts itself out, it's the one to benefit. Okay, because all the people who are abroad are Africans of all. You know, they have so much knowledge, and I can tell you what. When I look at it, if you get the knowledge, you actually, some of the things you realize, you don't need all this donor money. You don't need people showing, Oxfam showing, sorry to say that, but you don't need all these charities telling us how poor Africa is when we know how rich Africa is. Okay? These people will not change the policy for Africa, right? And the problem is every system that Africa implements, it's not by Africans. They copy it from somewhere else. They copy from America, from England. You're copying, copycats. Stop copying. Create your own. Why, you know, create what is yours. You know, I thank God for presidents who stood up, like Tanzania and you know, like that. and Ghana. Follow that example. Stop being governments that are made up of rich people who just think they can put their money wherever they are putting it. You know, that is what people have done before. If you don't, you'll be left behind, because a new generation is coming that can, you know, who are saying enough. It's not an Africa for one country, two countries, or whoever your tribe is. Is an Africa that wants to be free, what it used to be before slavery. They have to go back before slavery. That's the Africa we want. Before anyone came and colonized and brainwashed us, that's the Africa. Think openly. That is the clean Africa. So Africa was free before slavery. So if we can think that way, everything we can do. We only need God anyway. You know, why should people tell us that they shouldn't define us? Okay, we can define ourselves. Everything, it doesn't matter which country you need to settle. You know, if I go on an aeroplane, I see foreign people on aeroplanes going to Africa, but I don't see the same number of Africans flying on the air, coming back to Europe or going to America. I just see other people, other races. So can't Africans see that? Can't African governments, presidents call yourself OAU? Don't you see that? You know, and why do you refuse, you presidents and governments, why do you refuse to accept your diaspora and your blacks abroad? What's the problem? Because until you accept,
Juliet, can I jump in?
You accept your...
Juliet, can I jump in?
Until you accept...
Yes,
Hold on. David, until you accept your children that are abroad, that were misplaced abroad, the day you start accepting that, that's when Africa will unite. Okay? So for me, for anyone to tell me anyone else has to sympathize with me, I'm not even interested, because they don't know my problem, they don't know my story. And you know what? I've lived here many years. No one cares.
Adrian wants to jump in. Adrian wants to jump in. Go on. David, jump in, and then Adrian's going to jump in.
Okay. Juliet, hi.
David.
Bring it. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm going to bring it back again. Okay?
Yeah.
Look, because of my perspective on jumping on this call today, all right? We have to understand, first of all, we're talking about what happened last week. Okay, being enough's enough. All right, everyone, whatever diaspora as Africans we live in, whether it's Europe, Africa, America, we are all interconnected. Okay, what we saw, how can I put it? It resonated in every single one of us. So we knew something needs to change. Okay, now there's a road ahead. Now, to get to that road, it ain't gonna be perfect, because we are talking about Africans now and Americans understanding that we need to change what is going on. Europe are not gonna change it. America is not gonna change it. They have no investment to change it. You're asking people to change a race that they have rigged for 400 years, okay? So once we go through the suffering, once we get the protest out of the way, it's about us as a people, whether it's America or Britain, starting to plan what the future looks like. What are we going to leave the legacy for our children, and their children? Because we've had a generation where there's been no activity. We've had black deaths day in, day out. We've had discrimination, whether it's in a workplace, systematic, institutional racism, and we've not really done anything about it. I believe we're in an epoch where, as a people, we have to accept that if we don't make the changes now, we might as well put the white flag. If we don't make the changes now that we need, what are those changes? Now, I know the sisters are talking to us now. Look, we're going to have disagreements between African and Americans and Europeans because we're living in different diasporas. The simple factor that we need is the need to come back, the need to invest in Africa, the need to have an African mentality, the need to be cohesive. Now, you can be cohesive in Europe, you can be cohesive in Britain, you can be cohesive in America, as long as we're doing it from an African, a Black-centric point of view, and that we know that we're going to disagree, it's not going to be perfect. So if people going back home, there's going to be issues between the culture that you've just lived in to the culture you're walking back to, you're coming into. We'll work through that. We'll work through that. That's birth pains, yeah? The corruption that we have is everywhere, and we know there's corruption in Africa. But we'll work through that. We'll bring people back home who will bring qualities that's needed. Also, we've got people who left home to send the qualities out there. Look how many African doctors we got out there, yeah? Scientists we got out there. The Black mental capital is huge. It's huge. We can create our own Wakanda, if we're going to say that, yeah? Because Africans excel in every single thing we do. Black people excel. You put us in anything and we'll rise to the top. And they've spent 400 years trying to keep us down. So I just want to be brief now that, look, we're going to work through our problems. What we need to do is harness the emotions that we've got. Harness it, because we've had too much division, whether it's been religion or whatever that a white man's given us to mentally enslave us and to keep us disunited. We need to keep the feeling that we've got right now and understand why it hurts so much and why we need to come together and why we need to be united in what we do. And even though we come from a different perspectives, that core understanding of we need to do this together has to be what drives us. And if passing at the hands of someone who did the job that the institution wants him to do under the protection of a racist American president who's allowed to do acts which no other presidents have been allowed to do, and Obama could never do, and he's been allowed to do it, and it's been allowed to continue. If we don't understand the need to come together, he will create a civil war in America. That's what he wants. That's the only way he can stay in power. And that's why he's doing all he's doing. The lockdown that the sister said about 2 weeks, that's about control. That's about showing he's in power and he controls us. Yeah. And people just need to keep protesting, keep organizing, keep strategizing, and we will iron out any issues. Thank you.
Okay, so David, you've got some people on the screen agreeing with you, yeah? Yes, David, speak it. But we have someone else here. Jennifer, are you with us? Jennifer, are you with us? Now, if you want to join the live stream, let me just tell you how. You go onto the community page on YouTube. When you go to the community page on YouTube, you will see that we post information on how you can join the live stream. So Jennifer, are you with us? If not, can you mute? Okay, Jennifer.
What's the best way to start?
Jennifer,
got hired to do a job.
Jennifer? Okay, so I wanted to go back to Modena, if she's there, you're ready to join, and also Karen Miles, you're not connected. I just want to speak to you, Sheena. I mean, this is interesting because honestly, we have people from the UK, from a UK perspective. You know, we have family here from the continent, African continent, a continental perspective. And when I say, I'm talking about where you are based geographically, okay? And we have people placed geographically in America. And there seems to be one common thread, you know, through what we're saying. I mean, Grace made a point about the importance of us, you know, being welcomed when we come back to Africa. And the fact that, you know, Africa and African leaders need to also acknowledge, and also, that's really distracting. Sorry. Need, oh, it looks like we lost the stream there for a minute. Need to acknowledge that, you know, we are coming back home. So how does it feel for you as a diaspora, knowing that we're facing this racism, the racism to the extent that it's become so apparent, so abundant, it's so it's so common that now the world is protesting against it, and it's still continuing in the protests. It's still continuing in the riots. So what message would you have to our brothers and sisters on the continent, and especially our leaders on the continent, in terms of us coming back home? What would your message be, given the backdrop of everything that's happening right now? And you know, how vocal have they been, you know, in supporting their diasporan brothers and sisters, because we are Africans, regardless of whether we were born in or outside of Africa.
Is it to me, Jules? Is that a question to
Yeah,
me?
I'm talking.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I think,
there's a couple other people I want to add to the stream. So, yeah, go ahead, Sheila.
I think really, I would hope that the leaders will look at this, the leaders of Africa, of African nations, will look at this and see that, you know, we really need to get citizenship for the diasporas immediately. I also feel that the continent of Africa, along with the Caribbean, along with the diasporans from the Western countries like America and Europe, and of course South America, they need to start talking to each other in a big way. You know, we've realized that during this period of time that, you know, we can share information very quickly. We can mobilize ourselves like almost immediately, and we need to take, as they say, harness that kind of feeling and take it forward. My absolute dream is, my absolute dream is to, you know, bring back the diasporans, of which I personally will be coming back. And I was coming back long before this situation, but this situation compounded my feelings to want to go back to Africa. And as you know, I've got my land in Gambia, which Juliet has sorted for me, thank you. And I will be going to Gambia within the next 24 months, and possibly earlier because of this whole situation that has now come about. So for me, my dream is really for the diaspora to go back to Africa. For those in the continent who are not Africans, if they like our vision and we see that they can be useful to us in Africa, then they can stay. But if they don't like our vision, then they must just leave. And my whole feeling is that we must just lock down the continent and get on with each other, because we have a commonality across the globe that nobody actually likes us. So we don't care. We love each other. And that's what we need to express, is the love that we have for each other. Because in this whole situation that's gone over the last 10 days, the love of Blacks and African people together has been unbelievable. I've experienced a lot of it through different texts and WhatsApps and all kinds of things that have come. And just the unity we have shown each other, that we can do this if we really try. We can actually make Africa great, seriously. We can bring it back to its former glory of before 400 years, and we can understand what really makes us tick as a nation of people. So, you know, we can do this. That's what I feel.
Lovely, thank you. And we got some new guests of Black Sip family to today's live stream. Yeah, is anything going to change? So I'd like you to introduce yourself, Bakina, and afterwards I'd like you to introduce yourself, Shay. So let's start with Bakina first.
Hi, my name is Serena Sinkara. I absolutely love your show. I'm truly a big fan, or your TV channel. Actually live in US. I'm not sure a lot of the action is going on with what happened with Floyd. But I do plan on moving to Burkina Faso in about 3 or 4 months to the continent.
Nice. Well done. Well done. I mean, I describe Africa as a mansion with many beautiful rooms, you know. Whichever one suits you, jump in, go live there. I love Gambia, and I've been to other places in Africa. However, like when the key fit for me here, so you know. But I heard that Burkina Faso is absolutely beautiful. I have a friend there. His name is Maladoma Patrice Sume, and he is an author. He's written so many really good books, one of which is called Of Spirit and the Water. If you get a chance, do read that book. And also Communion of Community. He's written some fantastic books about African spirituality that helped actually to change my life. He changed my life. I met him on a few occasions and he really has changed my life. So I'm glad you're going there to his home country, you know. So tell me, is anything going to change? I mean, you're right there in New York, in the heart of it. You're there in COVID, you're there in, you know, you're in lockdown, you're there in the heart of the pandemic, and now you're there in the heart of all of the uprisings and you know, because basically people are had enough. You know, when people's voices aren't being heard, when frustration brims over, when people's hurt becomes more than their pain, you know, things start to spill over the edge, and I feel that is what's happening now. We've had more than enough pain to last us at least 20 lifetimes. So, you know, what's going on? Do you think anything's going to change by what's happening? Do you think you're going to get reparations from what's happening? Do you think you're going to get justice or governmental change? Or what do you think is going to change?
Yeah, I hope some change do take place from this. I know in Philadelphia, they're making a lot of different changes in the way that their policing is going on. They tore up the community, which I think needed to be done because I feel like they needed to see that action. They need to see how serious we are as a Black community and how we're just not going to keep settling for this type of stuff any longer. My husband is actually related to Thomas Sankara. My last name is Sankara. And I believe a lot of the things that Thomas Sankara was trying to do in Burkina Faso, I wish we could adapt those type of things for the Black Americans here in the U.S. as far as how they came together as a community and invested in their own, especially if people are not willing to go to the continent. I think that that's something that the Black community here or even in the UK should try to adapt in our lifestyles.
Well, you know, I'm glad to hear that. You know, it's the first piece of good news I've heard for a little while still coming out of America these days. You know, so I'm glad to hear that, you know, a change is taking place. Whether it's permanent change, I don't know. You know, there has to be a change. And I just don't think policing. I just don't think policing is enough because the Ku Klux Klan just put a uniform on. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, the mentality was still the same. You know, just became the officer.
Can I say this, Juliet?
So
the only thing that's gonna
Gina.
Yeah, the only thing that has to change is us, our mindset, and our intention. They're never gonna change, and you know what? It's damn right stupid. And I'm not using these words towards us, but we need to stop living in a space of stupidity. These people do not have to change, and why should they? They're in a position of privilege.
Exactly.
Come on, let's look at this whole world. There's the animal kingdom. We have the land itself. It has forestry on the land. You know, the strongest things survive. We're asking somebody in a strong position to remove themselves from that position to make us comfortable. How did they get there? I mean, the only thing that has to change is our mindset and understand that this is a race. Life is a race. It's a beautiful race if you get in it. It's not so beautiful if you sit there holding your arms open, waiting for everybody to come hug you. They're gonna run through you. And that's the reality. Come on, this is about DNA. This is about genetics. These people look at you and they see the end of them. This is one thing I know for sure. We've had a lot of our scholars teach us that along the way. You know, we've had a lot of scholars. Dr. Henry Clark told us, you know, every time they see you prosper, they realize that it may mean the end of them. We need to understand that the only change that needs to happen is within ourselves, because these people are playing a fair game. They are trying to win.
That's so true.
By any means. We just need to go home. That's simple. We just need to pack up and go.
We're no different than the beasts of the field, the lions, the tigers, the bears. There's a stronger beast out there. And they earn that right. And we just have to get in a place where we understand the reason why Black people were on top before was because we played to win. And if we want to be in a position of to be respected, if we don't want to see our children slaughtered on the streets because people do not respect them, they know that we don't have any leaders that's going to say anything about it. Do you see this happening to the Jews? Do you see it happening to India? Do you see it happening to the Chinese? You know why it happens to us? Because they know that they don't have, we're like what do you call it? Abandoned children. We know what we need to do, y'all. We need to clean up our house first. First, we need to get out of their house. Juliet's got the right idea. Then we need to go back into our house. And then we need to clean up house. 3 steps.
Exactly. We need to go back to Africa. We just need to do this. We need to do this, and we need to do this now. There's no time like the present, seriously. Because, you know, we're in a position that we're like in annexes in different spaces. We need to be in our own space so we can breathe and we can think and we can do. So, you know, I feel for all the Black Americans. I feel it for them so much because, you know, they're like these children that are just running around, and Big Daddy's going to herd them all up and put them into the pen anyway at some point. So, you know, if we don't break the system now, going forward, we could see this reoccurrence going on and on and on. We can see our own people being murdered on international TV, and that's not good enough. We just need to pack up our things and go back to Africa. That is our destiny. That is our direction, and that is our hope.
Exactly. I agree. We need to not be afraid to let go of their comfortable life.
But what is comfortable about their life?
Let's talk about it. Some of us are afraid to go back to Africa for 2 reasons. We don't want to let go of that lifestyle.
What's comfortable for us?
All right, listen, one at a time. The stream is breaking up. So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to ask Shay. Shay's been sitting patiently. Shay, I want to know what we think we need to do. I mean, you know, is anything going to change? I mean, we've been doing this for hundreds of years. I mean, Adrian, you wanted to say something? Jump in, man.
No,
speak to Shay.
Yeah, I'm looking to have that. But first of all, we got to focus on what brought us in the here and now. First of all, we need to reflect on what brought us in the here and now. Why we here today debating now about what's happening, what has brought us here. You know, and what are the solutions, or what are the steps we need to take to free ourselves so that we don't have to be taking rioting, marching, what it is that we have to do now, as Black people, because we need to take drastic action now. What it is that we need to do, because it's obvious they're not going to with us peacefully. It's obvious. So it's something that we need to do right now. So let's reflect on what brought us in a year and now, and how we're going to move on from now, this point, now, onwards. Now they're not going to change.
No, they're not. And I think
they're not going to change.
They're not.
Yeah?
They're not.
They will give us a quick fix to make we feel good. But after that, they're going to go straight back to their old ways.
Absolutely.
You know? It's 400-500 years we've been here. Yeah, so let's reflect on what brought us in here and now, what gave them the privileges that they had, and why what we need to do to get and deal with the situation and build ourselves back. Black people, we have a home, we have a continent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's take control of it. Every other race is controlling Africa apart from us.
Africans need to control Africa.
And Africans are controlling nothing outside of Africa either.
No, we're not. We don't have control in China.
So
the China people can come into Africa and have control.
Asians have control here. The white man have control here. We don't have control in no other continent. We don't have control in Africa. So what are we doing wrong? We need to focus on us and how we gonna take this over and sort ourselves out. So let's reflect on what brought us in here and now.
I mean, I think the first thing we have to do is to, buy black, buy African and invest in Africa. That's the first thing. Stop buying other people's products. Stop banking bank, and change the way you use your economic power. That is the first thing that we have to do. You change your spending habits. You change your buying behavior. You change the way you use too much noise in the background. Mute everybody's mind. Yeah. Talking. Sorry. Yeah. So basically, I think economical power is what we will. We definitely will. We are the world's biggest consumers. And as such, that gives us a power. So we do have a power. I agree with Adrian in some ways, but in some ways I don't, because we control the resources. Regardless of whether someone is coming and taking them, they're still here. Hang on a minute. They're still here.
But
hang on. But no, that can change. That can change. The same way that things can get burnt down, the same way, hang on a minute. No, I'm saying that the here and now is the economic, but it's economic change. Is if we took the spending power that we have, what did you say it was the other day? 1.7 trillion, something like that. What I'm trying to say, no, Adrian, the power that we have now is economical power. If we stop buying their products, shopping in their stores, investing in their banks, using their business, and start economically viably investing in ourselves, investing in Africa, lots could change, because we can have those mining machines. They are black mines. They are black. Remember, this is what they put on the TV. Whatever they put on the TV, because you got to remember, Africa still controls some of its resources, but not enough. And we've got to change them. But Shay's been waiting patiently. So Shay, I'm gonna bring you in. Yeah, what's gonna change? Shay?
Not from their perspective, nothing's gonna change. Like one of the callers said earlier, they're in the position of power. They don't have to change anything. Once they acknowledge, they're not going to acknowledge that they've done anything wrong. They're not going to apologize for what they've done wrong. And it's amazing for me. I'm a veteran, a military veteran, and I've gone all over the world and everything, and I've seen, different lifestyles, but it's amazing for me to see, being an American, the response now in 2020 that the African continent is having to things that we see every day. It's interesting and heart-wrenching, for you guys, coming from the UK or in the UK, responding to what we see every day. We see this every day. And it's disheartening for some, for most of us, but for me, I'm not that much of an emotional person, but majority of Black Americans are running on E, our gas tank is empty, and we're functioning like zombies. We're functioning like zombies. We're just doing the day-to-day, and now we're kind of coming out of this cloud, coming out of this funk, to where we're seeing that we have a space outside of the United States, but we're also seeing that all of this work that we've put into this country is of no value to us. All of the work that we've put in this country is of no value to us. Like, I understand there's a lot of Black Americans like, oh, our families built this country. Our families, you know, they you know, broke their backs, they bled, and they had children in this country. You did all of that for his dream.
That's right.
The American dream had nothing to do with us. And a lot of people want to get, you know, upset. They're tied to all of that work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, but all of that blood, sweat, and tears was poured out for them. And it's of no value to us. If it was of value to us, we wouldn't be in the positions that we're dealing with. We wouldn't be a fodder for these cops to kick around. And that's what we live every day. You know what I mean? So for me to you know, come to your channel, and I watch, you know, many of your videos. I watch many of Wodamaya's videos. I watch the Black Acres of the Gambia. You know, those I'll call you guys leaders in the transition back to the motherland. You know what I mean? I watch them, you know, envious that you guys are already there. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, because I've been to Ghana and I'm ready to, you know, make the move. I'm just waiting for to get these travel restrictions, and let me not go into the politics about that. All of the politics are against us. Every single ounce of politics, every single government that's set up, it's against Blackness. You go to Brazil, the policies, the laws, the legislation, it's against Blackness. You go to Dominican Republic, it's against Blackness. You go to Jamaica, even the policies are against Blackness. They're not against humanity, because humans, the only thing that we need to do is eat, have sex, and you know what I mean, sleep, you know, and drink some water. That's what humans need to do. That's what life is about. So it's not about humanity. The only barriers to anything is Blackness. So for me, I'm like, there's nothing. And I've fought for my country. I've went to war for the United States, you know what I mean? But I still see all of the sacrifices that I've personally made. I know that if I go out into the street right now and I get into a car accident, or, you know, something goes awry, I know that my life is of no value. I know this here. My life is of no value. And just to bring this full circle, I didn't know, and I wasn't you know what happened with me, and I don't want to get into the weeds. I don't want to get into the weeds of what's, because it taxes your mental state. You know what I mean? It makes you less mentally aware when you get into the emotions of it. But the sister of Mr. Floyd lives in this town that I am in right now. His sister lives here. I live next door to the largest army military base on the East Coast. And I don't want to understand what would happen if President Trump decided to enforce military maneuvers here in this town. This town is one of the heaviest Black communities in this part of the East Coast. It's 33% Black people. I don't even want to understand what would happen if all the Black people here decided to tear up this particular town. You know, this town is second in command to the Pentagon. You know, so the types of stuff that Americans deal with, I mean, we all have what we deal with in our separate areas. But once we understand, and this is why I put, you know, certain things in the room. I know I drop a lot of stuff in the chat room. I say, you know, pay attention to what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing is saying. Pay attention to what Dr. Arikana is saying. Pay attention to what Dr. Neely Fuller is saying. Pay attention to what Dr. Claude Anderson is saying. They're saying, don't pay attention to the things that don't matter. It doesn't matter that you're lighter than me. It doesn't matter that your weave is fresher than mine. It doesn't matter that you drive a Benz and I drive a Pinto. Those things don't matter. The only thing that matters is our Blackness. That's the only thing that matters. And once we recognize that all of us are melanated people, all of us are melanated people, and we all deal with trials and tribulations only and solely based on the fact that we're melanated. Once we recognize that and get all of the rest of the nonsense out of the way, the tribe we're from, the island that we're from, the America that we're from, the UK that we're from, there's kids that fight in classes because one kid is from Jamaica and another kid is from the UK, and they're both black. Who cares? Who cares? You know what I mean? Our melanation is what dictates our power. And once we understand that amongst everybody, once we understand that, then we'll be able to move forward, and then we'll be able to clearly decide what we're going to do once we get to the continent, because we're all the same. We're all the same. And all of our problems are strictly because of other people pegging us because we all look the same. And then we want to pick fights amongst each other, you know what I mean, to make it worse for ourselves. They don't care that we're fighting against ourselves.
Exactly.
They don't care that the kids in Chicago are shooting each other up. That helps them out, you know? So once we recognize that our blackness is our biggest advantage, our blackness is our biggest advantage. Our blackness is our biggest advantage. Once we understand that, they will not be able to touch us. They will not. I mean, they just found the second largest reserve of lithium in Nigeria. The whole planet right now is looking for alternative power. They're looking for alternative power. And we have Nigerians fighting over who's Igbo and who's from, Yoruba. Why are you fighting over that? And you have the second largest resource that these people are getting ready to try to come in here and take from you. Get your stuff together, get that out of the way, and protect what's yours. Protect what's yours. But we're worried about things beyond our blackness. The only thing that counts is our blackness. You can get 2 Chinese, you can get 4 Chinese people from different regions of China, but as long as they know that they're Chinese, they're brother, they're kin, they're going to look out for each other. But you get you get a Nigerian and a Ghanaian in the same room, they're not going to talk to each other. They're not going to talk to each other. You get an Indian person from North India and an Indian person from South India, they're going to click up and make sure that they decide, figure out the next software package.
Yeah.
You get a Kenyan and Ethiopian in the same room together, they're going to argue. We have, like the one sister was saying, we need to clean up our own house. We need to recognize that our blackness is our strongest asset. All of the rest of that stuff is out the window.
Right.
All of the rest of that stuff is out the window. I don't care if you're from the north. I don't care if you're from the south.
One Africa.
All of that stuff doesn't matter. All of it doesn't matter. So that's all I had to say. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for contributing. I just wanted to say to you, ultimately, there's an old African saying here, in the Gambia. And the saying is that no matter how long a log stays in the water, it will never be a crocodile. So we're going to be Africans no matter where we are. Okay? Because
I want to respond to that.
Will never be a crocodile. One sec. I'm going to bring in Jane, and I have to bring in Jinkai, and I also got Renee waiting. So I'm just going to speak to.
Okay, I just have this one little short thing, and I'm going to go. What Amaya reposted a video the other day of him and Mama Imacus from One Africa, and she made the point. She's like, every time a seed falls from a tree, it's always going to make that same tree. Say apple seed falls from the tree. It's always going to be apple tree. So no matter where you take that apple tree, you could take it to America, you could a seed. You can take it anywhere else, it's still going to be an apple. So for all of us to try to say that we're not African, I'm not African, I'm Jamaican, I'm this, I'm Blexican, I'm all these no, you're African. You're African. But as long as we want to, divvy up, we're not going to make it.
Right, I want to get everybody on before we close, so I'm going to speed things up a little bit and ask people to make their contributions a little bit shorter for me. So I'm going to bring you in, Roshane, and also after that is Jinky, I'm not sure, and then Renee. So thank you so much. We're going to bring in Roshane. Thank you for waiting so patiently. What's going on? Hey, wagwan, you know, see me there? Wagwan. How are you there, partner?
There, man. Greetings from Jamaica. I mean,
yeah, greetings. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And pretty much everything that I had on my mind has been stated already. But what I would want to add is, in regards to African Americans pooling their resources together, there's a brother from the States by the name of Calvin Marcher. He's pushing a movement called Blackout Day 2020, where on the, I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it, 7th of July, he's asking every Black person in America to not shop with any other group of people.
We've got the same
He's also trying to bring, got the same thing? Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're pushing the same thing.
Okay.
Black.
It's just that.
Yeah, black.
Right. But I'm glad to know, though, you know, because I think that it would be a lot more effective if we have Black people globally participating in the movement, you know?
We can't hear you. Come closer to the mic.
I am. I'm right here. Can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me? All right. So yeah, I'm saying that I think it would be a lot more effective. I wasn't aware that it was a global movement, so that's the reason why I brought it up, you know. But you know, the brother also spoke
Share
about
anyway, because other people might not know about
a database of Black businesses out that way. Exactly. I'll find the link and post it in the chat. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to add. You guys pretty much touched on everything already.
So share the link so everyone can join the global boycott. The global boycott is that we are all going to buy black. I think it's June 14th, everybody was saying. That everybody's going to shop black. What date you got?
July 7th.
Yeah.
July 7th?
July the 7th, yeah.
And what have you got, brother?
July 7th. Same thing.
Ah, so we got different days.
No, the same.
So what we need to do is to maybe June the 7th, July the 7th, July the 10th are 2 separate days. So why don't we just black out the whole of July?
It's still July.
Now the days, the whole of July.
That's the
whole of July. Everybody has to shop black, buy black. Yeah, it doesn't matter. July, louder days, the whole of July, everybody has to shop black, buy black, for one whole month. Let's have impact. No more going to white supermarkets. Go online to black stores, have them delivered to your door. Everybody must buy black. Go and get your clothes online, buy black. Go to the local store, black store, buy all your shopping in there. Yeah, it's time to buy black. Find black people who have got their online stores and buy black for one whole month, July. Louder day. I'm done with the day. For a whole month. It's easy for me to do because I'm in Africa.
Right.
However, we all must do it for 1 month. Louder day. 1 month. We can all do it. You're going to commit? You in, Roshane? Can't go to a Chinese store and all that.
A country mo there.
Which part?
St. Thomas.
Ouais, dopé. Drop me avec, drop me avec. No problem. St. Thomas is beautiful.
Yes.
Listen, Roshane, thank you for your contribution. Let's share it. Let's make it 1 month. It's the whole month of July. We're not going to have any impact in one day, but 1 month we can make we can see a difference. Yeah. So I'm going to speak to Jin K. Is it Jin K? Jinky? Jinky? Janaka? Janake?
Janaki.
Hey, sis.
How are you doing?
How you doing? I'm going to ask everyone to mute off for me. 1 second. Roshane, thank you, hon, from Jamaica. My big love to all of my Jamaican family. Yeah, all of my Jamaican family, big yourself up. You know, we're all Africans. You're an African born in Jamaica, including you, Andrew Holness. You're an African born in Jamaica. But anyway, let's bring you up, please, my sister.
Hi, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you so much for this streaming opportunity. I didn't expect to be on camera. I was just going to listen. I didn't know. But I think a lot of good things have been said already. I really vibe with our unplugging from the other society. I think we really do have to deal with our mental conditioning and making the decision to do for ourselves. And just like Marcus Garvey said, Africa for the Africans at home and abroad. So I don't have much more to say. I think a lot was pretty much said already. But thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. But like you said, Africa for Africans, home and abroad. And that's it. And Marcus Garvey also left the Caribbean, namely Jamaica, and spread, you know, Black consciousness to the world, because I'm a Garveyite myself. And, you know, that's why I'm here in Africa. You know, the Black Star Liner, wasn't so much Black Star Liner, it was a white aircraft, brought me here, but it's the same thing. And hopefully we'll be doing our own Black Star Liner van, you know, overlanding with Mansa, you know, taking people overland to here in Africa. So you can do it. So, you know, I want to big everybody up that's put on the live stream so far. You know, really appreciate your contribution. And thank you, Jinke, for your patience, and also, you know, adding in your contribution is valid no matter how short it is. So Renee. Yeah. Anything changing, and is anything gonna change?
Juliet, can I just jump in just a minute? I'm going to shoot off, but I'm going to leave this message that everyone just needs to exodus back to Africa. End of story. That is our destination. That is our direction. Okay, people, I'm out.
Okay, can you ask Charles to jump in for me? Please. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Renee?
So, yes. Hi, Juliet. Can you hear me? Juliet, are you hearing me? Yes. Can you hear me? Good. Okay. So thanks so much for the opportunity. Big up yourself, Juliet. I really, you know, I subscribe to your channel. I do everything I possibly can. I have a Facebook group called the African Exodus After Rona. And because I've been trying to wake up people for years, I developed a mobile app to connect Black businesses to each other. I did that in 2014. I was on Muta Baruka show. I was trying to do everything to build up Black people trading with each other, and they were not ready. They were not ready for that message. And unfortunately, we have this coronavirus that came like a bioweapon and killed, you know, it was just targeting Black people. And I think that began to slowly open people's eyes as to what they need to do next. And what we need to do is strategize. We can't just say, yeah, Africa, we're going to go to Africa. We need to strategize, develop a plan, and build together, communicate with each other. And we have to adopt that African mindset of one community. Because if we're going to go to Africa with just the white man mentality of me, I, and me and my family, we're not going to get very far. We're going to have to start from here. I'm a Jamaican. I live in the United States. I ran from Rona in New York, and I lived there most of my life. And I have been repatriating myself back to Jamaica, even though I knew I belonged in Africa since I was a child, because I was afraid. I was afraid of going there all by myself. Okay. But right now, I'm not raising the next generation of America so that she could be some kind of hashtag or the evening news. I'm not for that. So we're gonna have to do what we need to do. And I'm trying to get us to build this strategy, this understanding that no, Africa isn't perfect. Neither is this. This is not perfect. But we are so caught up in, ooh, they don't got running water. Ooh, that's dirt. Ooh, listen, Jamaica I come from. Everyone is trying to say you need to go and see first. When we have to come to America or the UK, you don't get the opportunity to go see first. You pack up your something them, you go to the airport, you take your plane, and boom, you reach a foreign and you build up a whole entire nation out of your suitcase. So why can't we take that same mentality and go to Africa, because it's just as foreign as anywhere else. They got roads, them have light, them have internet, them have water, them have man, them have woman, they got food, better quality food, more vitamin D. 40% of us are dying from heart conditions because we don't have vitamin D. That alone should tell you that this environment is not productive for us. We don't need to be in anywhere where you get only 4 months of sunlight. Only 4 months of sunlight for the whole year, right? And then and all your money goes back out. Rent, light, phone, Christmas. The average African American doesn't have anything to contribute to his college tuition, to his, if something should happen, look at Rona, for example. 2 weeks, everybody 2 weeks away from being homeless, right? Everyone, white people and black people. The difference between us and white people is we have somewhere to go. We have somewhere to go, and we need to stop taking this mentality like, say, oh, they don't like us, and we need to stop taking that victim mentality, because if you calculate 400 years of free labor, slavery, rape, murder, all of this, all of that, I have never felt downtrodden knowing that my history comes out of slavery. I have felt empowered that this sperm survived all of that to be here. I don't have no kind of, me not carry that around with me. I carry the power around with me. I carry the power like, I survived that. Watch what I survive next. And we need to have that concept, that mentality, that there is nothing in front of us that is worse than what we have left behind. The better days are ahead of us, but we need to hold on to that. The next point is these governments, of Africa, the African governments, they need to be the voice. The African Union needs to be the voice. If we're talking about building up Africa, and we're talking about one union, and we're talking about this cohesive nation, the United States of Africa, if that's the conversation that is really coming out of these people's mouth, the countries, land does not make a nation. People make a nation. So you have to talk about the coming back, the coming together of what is powerful and valuable to you, which is the human beings. They have to make the diplomatic changes. They have them to make the taxation changes. They have to make the concessions necessary that will attract people to come back, because, to be honest, some of us don't have the money. To be honest, a lot of us don't have the money. We look at Africa every day like, oh, Africa, and we don't have the resources. However, we have an opportunity if we start working together with one single mind towards coming back to Africa. Short last bit, so we give the next person an opportunity. I'm in film school. My thesis film is on reparations. Okay, my thesis film is on reparations. Okay, I've already that film has been made, but for the school, because if you're from Jamaica, one thing you know about Jamaica, there are two conversations that we have had from Wapia Kill Philip is reparations and repatriation. We have never separated those two. Give me my money, me go on. That's all the Rastafarians have been saying from the 60s. Give me my money, Make me one. Okay, they want us to go with nothing. They want us to they want us to electively go and go suffer with nothing, right? But the truth of the matter is, I'm going to tell you what America's wealth is, and this coronavirus proves it. America's wealth is Black people. The people who they cannot do without, the people who ram the train, even though that they have social distancing, the people who are out there, the garbage man, the nurse practitioner, the little people that you think are nothing, those are the people that run America and keep them going. Make the wall we got back at Africa and see what they do and see how they keep the society moving. The healthcare, the food care workers, those are all Black people. Every mickle make a muckle. If we start some kind of credit union or something, you put in a quarter, a nickel, a dime into that to raise the funds, and we repatriate as groups. We have to do something actively. It cannot just be come on your own volition. A lot of people want to come. It is cost prohibitive. Africa is a far, far way away. The air ticket alone will eat up all of that. People do want to come. Me being one of them. I go through real estate porn in the Gambia every day. You know, I go through real estate porn in Ghana every day because I want to have the knowledge of what is happening there politically, real estate, you know, you name it, taxation. We need to have those conversations. So one of the things that I'm going to leave you with, because I know somebody else wants to jump in, is we have a voice, we have a mouthpiece, but we also need to address the education portion of things. Right now, social media is an opportunity for you in the Gambia to reach me all the way back in America. We need to educate more Black people on how to make money online. How can we educate them to make money online? Because that to me is the vehicle of reparations. It's a vehicle of, you know, repatriation, is having some kind of stream coming in. So if you want to work with me, I can send you a message. I sent you a message probably Monday.
Can you send me your details so I can share them? Can you send me your details?
Where should I send? Right here in the private chat.
We have a community page on YouTube. That's where I do everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
so
okay.
Yeah, next up, I think we have Native Blackness. Will be coming on next. But like I said, if you share it with me, I'll put it on our community page. If you want to jump on the stream, Franklin, yeah, is my brethren right there from UK. Then go to our community page on YouTube, which is where we post all that information, and you can see how you can join the stream. If you want to join the stream, you got a few minutes left, so you can come and have your say. So please jump back in and come and join the stream. Go onto the community page, which is on our YouTube channel. So you just go slide across the top and go when it comes to community, press on it. And then you'll see the last post is all about the stream, and then you can cut and paste it out from there or retype it and join the stream, okay? So if someone can put it into the comment below for me, that would be great. If someone could cut and paste the stream information into the comments below in the community page, that would be great. I would do it now, just that I'm talking. And it's very interesting what's being said. But I want to thank you all, because everything that you've said, everyone's had something really valuable to add to the discussion. And I think one thing that you said is really, really interesting. The other day, a Blacksit subscriber, let's just say his name began with M, very special man, and his wife are also going to come to Africa, and they're also buying land here. And what we did was we went out of our way to find affordable pieces of land, for £815, and pieces of land for just over $1,000, that kind of thing, so that people could have a piece of land, so they got something to come back to. They got to give them hope, so they can build in it, put their house on it. So that's what we've been going out of our way to do. And yeah, you know, we have the odd backstabber, you know what I mean, smiling your face all the time. They want to take your place. We have that all, you know, but it's not stopping us. We're still moving forward regardless. You know what I mean? Rip off my ideas, take my clients. Okay, Juliet's still going to be on live.
I know who you're talking about.
So, you know, I just told you, all right, Black Sit Team is Black Sit Team, yeah? And there ain't no K in Black Sit, yeah? Okay? Okay. Right, so just with all that being said, please jump in, because I'd love to talk to you before we close. So everybody gets a chance to add their 2 pence. So we've got Maroon, we've got Native Blackness, we've got Hamza, and hopefully we will also have Franklin. And Franklin, if you could contact Woda Maya has the link. Yeah? Okay, so let's go to Native Blackness, who's been waiting very, very patiently. Hey, my sister. What's going to change? Is there going to be any change?
Well,
that part.
Can you all hear me real well?
I can hear you.
All right. Well, my quote is, America started off wrong. America is chugging along wrong. And America's going to end wrong if they don't right their wrongs. That's first.
Yay!
Second. But we're not going to stick around if they don't get it right, because it's been too much time already invested. But like Renee said, just to segue into what Renee said, money is key. Banking is key. And if we don't start a credit union, we need to start a GoFundMe. We need the funding, period, point blank, which we all know that. Now, I know the Gambia is on the coast. My thought is there any way to get a cargo ship that could do small, like the U-Packs, the small U-Packs, where everyone can buy into a U-Pack and pack their items if they choose to. But we all collectively come together in that U-Pack, in that cargo ship from America coast, like North Carolina coast, to the Gambia, if that is a possibility for a lot of Americans and or wherever you are in the world to have a cargo ship. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if the cargo ships can, you know, if there's a docking, I'm assuming it is in the Gambia. But to me, that would be critical, because then that you have a large, you know, transport of activity and individuals able to get their belongings and do like a U-Pack. The U-Pack is delivered, you load it, and it's picked up and it's taken to the cargo ship. Then, you know, you just get your pay for your ticket or however you choose to leave out of here. So that's my thought for one. I don't know if there's a cargo company that could be coordinated. Second of all, for me, I think that starting a GoFundMe, some type of, if we can't get the reparations, or it would be nice if we can get Democratic or some type of policy holders here in America to start funding, put out like funding to get everyone who wants to go back, you know, somehow, some way, there's money sitting there, and we're all taxpayers here, like you were back home. So you've paid into the system. So there should be some way we could communicate or write to or reach out. So to reach out, you know, to be able to get funding for those who want to pay for this or go back. So, and then also, I don't know if we can team up with or reach out to Akon, because I know he started the electricity there, to see if we can, like Dubai has built over the last 50 years, to see if they can come in and start the infrastructure in regards to building, you know, a water system, a sewage system. He's got the lighting system. If someone could reach out, even if, you know, I would reach out to Akon and see what can be teamed up to get these core concerns that a lot of people have.
Can I share something with you? Can I share something with you?
Please, yes.
Yeah, obviously I live here on the continent, and I live in my house, and I have a sewage system. I have 4 bathrooms, and
Amen.
4 bedrooms, and and I have power. The only reason why we don't use these lights is because of the glare.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we have everything, and we have internet. We have, I think like this whole idea about Africa being that backward is a misnomer and it's misleading, and that's the reason why I want to interject about sewage systems. Africa, and especially there are so many cities like Tanzania, Nairobi. Look at Rwanda. There are so Addis Ababa. We got to stop thinking that Africa is not developed. Many aspects and places in Africa is developed. Africa has both antiquity, modernity, all combined. Yeah, and so you live according to the way that you like. I still have all the things that you would have in your house. I still have TV, leather sofa, marble table, leather chairs, whatever you want to call it. Mod cons, I still have my computers, my printer. I had a computer for a while. I must have broke, but thanks to Blacksit subscribers, I was able to do this. So I do agree with you with regarding the GoFundMe. So if you could link me, off air, and we could talk about how we can make it happen, because I'm not into talk.
Okay.
I'm only into action.
Oh yeah,
So
I agree with
want
you
to link me, but I just want to do that.
I agree with you because I did
We
donate
hear
to you.
you understand,
So I agree with you. I'm taking action. So you're
Thank
right. You're very welcome. But I appreciate you and thank you for having me on. But yeah, I'm into action. So whatever we can start, like if we have to put money into whoever, puts the sewage systems that put into your home, your 4-bathroom home, if we have to start putting the funds into an account for that to occur like that, have them just digging and putting in, installing, have them installing so the funds can go to that. That's what I would like that funds, GoFundMe to
I'm
go
working on
towards.
an eco project. That's what I want you to call me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm working on a
Y'all ahead of
massive
it.
eco.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on
Gotcha.
a massive eco project which will
Got you, sister.
provide affordable homes and also, a catch me area for us, because we're damaged. We need healing. To come into a society which has community is very hard for us when we have been living in fractioned and division societies, when we don't really understand what social security really is. Yeah, we don't understand it. Social security is not a paycheck. Social security is your family.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Social security is your family. Social security is your family looking after your elders, your family looking after your young ones, and you being able to look after your children without having to go and leave them with strangers and run out to work. Social security is knowing that you're going to eat every night and that you've got a roof over your head and that you're supported in your environment. That is what social security is, without having to sign on a dotted line without someone saying whether you can get it yes or no. You see what I'm saying?
Got it. I definitely do.
Okay, so Adrian,
all right.
Coronavirus update. Come on in, Adrian.
US report over 21,000 new cases amid mass protests.
Sorry?
US reports over 21,000.
Okay, Adrian is just giving me information now about this pandemic. So apparently there are now how many? 21,000 new cases amid mass protests. I don't know how they count this. Yeah, but here we go. Fear mongering, scaremongering, and everything else. Yeah, we all know. What germ warfare is.
Well, thank you all so much.
You understand? But listen, I'm gonna speak to Marlon. But listen, sister, I want you to check me offline. Yeah, you know my digits. +2202445. No, let me say it properly. Yeah, +220 +220-240-5273 on WhatsApp. Hit me up.
I got you. All right. Much love.
You got me?
Love. Yes, and I'll be in contact.
I'll
be there in the Gambia. Lots of love, family. Appreciate you.
Definitely. You're welcome, sis. We'll see you soon, yeah? Let's get this party started, okay?
Yes, we shall. Yes,
My brother,
we can.
Mr. Maroon, you've been waiting patiently, my brother. I'm so sorry. Sisters, look, some hot chocolate
That's
in the
okay,
house.
sis.
Other than Adrian. My
How are
brother,
you?
what's going to change?
A lot can
gonna
change when we make some choices, you know.
What's the choices?
I think that what's going to change is, well, you already on it. So I think I love your page. I love what you do. I love your contribution, even now being on here this long talking to us. So I think this is where it starts. People like you letting people know what it really is back home, you know, because I think a lot of us don't know. And the change I think is going to happen when we make some choices to maybe go back home and things like that, because we can't expect them to change, you know. That's insanity, you know. So I think that's not a reality, you know. And so it always I know, like one of the sisters said, you know, a lot of people here always say, you know, well, you know, my ancestors are here or they've done this and that. And that's very true. They do say that. But, you know, my thing it's always been, you work a job for 40 years, you don't expect to be a CEO or on the board, right? So why do you expect the people who brought you here to be slaves are going to somehow give you a seat at the table? And the other question is, why, you know what I mean? So, and the other thing is, why would you want a seat at this table? You know what they've had to do to get it. You know, do you really want to be a part of this? Do you really want to be a part of an empire that has destroyed your people and other people in order to get what they want? Is that what you want, to be a part of that? Me personally, I don't. You know, whether they are willing to give it or not, I don't want it. I feel like our true reparations is going back home and doing what we need to do to venerate our ancestors. That is what we do, and get into our culture. The best way to fight someone else is to do your culture, you know? And so that is my big thing. I will, as soon as things open back up, I'm going to try to come and see you. I have some friends in Senegal, so while I'm over there, I'm going to hit you up and I'm going to slide over to the Gambia and check you guys out and spend some time. But I love this. I love what's going on here. I hope people take this and go somewhere in Africa and be a contribution to your people and build up, you know, our thing. And I think you had you did something with Obadale. I don't know, not too long ago. I think Dr. Obadale Cambone. I think you did a phone conference with him, and I remember something he said. He said, just like there's no way living in the West that you can truly divest from them, you know, because even you paying your taxes, you paying your water bill, light bill, all that keeps the machine going, you know. Until you move home and invest at home, you're really never going to be divested from them, and you're basically paying for them to abuse you. I mean, it's basically what we're doing. We're paying for the abuse through just living there and supporting everything. So home is definitely one of the answers, and I'm going to be there. I haven't decided where yet. Right now, it seems like a toss-up between probably the Gambia or Ghana. It's really about the citizenship, but I mean, I think the citizenship needs to be twofold. I think it needs to be one, a special thing, like you said, for diasporans, and also they really need to push this African passport, the African Union passport that they've been talking about, so we can move freely between countries, and not just for us, but even Africans that live there. They have family across borders that they got to pay and all this other stuff to see and do commerce. I think it's just an ineffective way to move around, you know. So that's my contribution, I guess, to the chat, and I'll be in touch.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And I agree. We need to have a borderless Africa, like you have the States in America. You don't need a passport to go to Virginia and a passport to go to New York.
Right.
You know, they're one continent. They broke us up in the Berlin Conference. And we need to remember that they divided us, but we don't need to be divided by them anymore. That time's over. It's time to wake up, shake up, and get with it. We need to, you know, realize the potential danger that they pose to Africa. You know, white people are only here for their self-interests.
Of course.
Always have been, always will be. Yeah? And it doesn't even matter if you lay with them, it's the same thing. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it's the truth. I've seen that in my life. I've seen that in my life. Yeah? So I'm only talking from my own experience, you see? But brother, I'm going to go on to the next sister who's in the car. I think her name's Jennifer, but you're a bit sideways. So we're going to have to try and twist that camera a bit before we get you on. Yeah? Hey, hey!
Okay.
We have Jennifer.
Very nice to meet you. I really appreciate the work you're doing. You and your husband, your family is so incredible. I mean, I came to know you from this COVID situation, and you know, it was a lot of stress dealing with COVID, and you know, a lot of anxiety. But then, you know, I felt like it was like the Lord led me to the whole repatriation movement, and it has been such an encouragement to me, you know, to take my mind away from the stress of the COVID situation. And I'm so excited about it. When my husband was alive, we ministered about the healing of Africa. We say heal Africa, heal the world. And we were Pan-Africanists. He passed away, but I still am a Pan-Africanist. And I'm like, wow, there's so many people who are talking about the same thing we were talking about. But when we were talking about it, we didn't seem to know about these people, these other groups who had same like-mindedness. So I am just so excited about people who are same like-mindedness, repatriation, exodus, you know, moving up the people as what's his name? What's the singer? Bob Marley. Exodus, movement of your people. So yeah, so it's prophetic.
Movement of your people.
So I'm excited about that, and I also desire to come back to Africa. I lived in Nigeria for about almost 2 years, and I really enjoyed it. There were some challenges, you know, learning curve, and I had to adjust to the culture, but I felt so much a part of Nigeria. I felt safe there, walking late at night in the dark. I felt safe. I don't feel that kind of safety in America. And they try to say, oh, Africa is dark and it's scary and all this nonsense. Are there animals there? That's so stupid. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we have to educate our people, you know, because, you know, our enemies have done a real good job on brainwashing us so that we would have a fear to not want to go back to our homeland. But I thank God that I've overcome that fear, and I live there, and I love the culture. I felt so welcome there. Oh my goodness, in Nigeria. And so I'm thinking about, where do I want to go now? Ghana, Gambia, Ethiopia. One of these, I'm not sure what, you know. But I'm so excited once again, and it's so important that I want to say that we work together as people. You know, wherever we are in the diaspora, we must come together as a collective and work with the people of Africa, of the land, of our motherland. So we can't be a separate entity, you know, coming in setting up our own shop. So we must work together with the people of Africa. I was listening to a group from HBCUs and other leaders from Ghana and other South Africa, you know, students. They were all dialoguing, and they were talking about they want to build.
Come on back in, sister. Come on back in. Okay, we're going to pause there. We're going to try and bring her back in because I think she's lost signal. So my sister, Zandela, give me light to the Pandela. Give me my mic, Zandela. Give me my light, Zandela. Give me my mic, Zandela. Why am I doing that? Because she came all the way here to Gambia. Okay, so you don't want me to say it's tough. It's tough. I'm telling everybody in the world. Yeah. Then she came here. When we first starting Black Sit, we didn't have any mics. we didn't have any lights. And she came all the way from the UK, and she got the lights that we have today that we use when we're doing interviews off site, and also when we're doing live shows, because obviously we use halogen bulbs, which isn't so good. So yeah, she gave us LED lights and also some clip-on mics. So I want to welcome my sister Zandilla. Put your mic on, sis. Come closer. Have I embarrassed her now? So she's not talking. Huh? We can't hear you. Mike. Now we can hear you. Say it again. Your mic's not on. Speak through your phone. Try and see if you can speak through your phone or your computer directly. Don't worry about the mic. Take out the headphones, they're not working. It must be them cheap Chinese ones. You with me, sis? You clear? Can we hear you? Try and see if we can sort out your stream. Yeah? We're going to try and sort out your stream. Let's see if Jennifer's back, because her sound went down as well.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Jennifer, can you hear me now? We can hear you now. Right, you're back.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
we're going to wait for Zandilla to sort out her mic.
All right. Do you want me to talk or want me to be quiet? Hello?
We can hear you. Continue. Yes.
Oh, continue. Okay. I'm not sure where I cut off. So I'm just glad to be a part of the movement of back to Africa, back to our homeland, back to the motherland. I'm very excited about it. I'm like-minded people, because not everybody is a part of the awakening. So I'm only trying to promote, and to speak to those who are interested in hearing it. I don't want to waste my time. So I'm excited to be a part of moving back to Africa. I don't know which country. The Gambia is looking good and sounding good. Oh, you make it sound so awesome. I love your videos. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. I really enjoy it so much. And so the Gambia possibly is a part of one country I'm considering, or Ghana, between Gambia and Ghana. So excited to be a part of
it. It doesn't matter.
Movement.
Come home. Do you know what I mean? It really doesn't matter. Come home. There aren't that many huge differences in where you come back to, because Gambia is a developing country. Ghana, in certain aspects, is more developed. Yeah. However, it's just language and cultural differences. Africa is Africa. You know, so
yeah.
as long as you come home,
I don't know if you heard me.
matter.
Did you hear me? I lived in Nigeria.
Yeah, well, Nigeria. There you go. Niger. Dynasty Man loves his Niger.
Okay.
Dynasty Man loves his Niger. ES is in Ghana. Vodamaya is in Ghana, And then we have Tigress in Kenya, We have bloggers all over Africa who are, contributing. We've got vloggers here in the Gambia as well. Some contributions are more positive than others. But, like I said, I just try and keep it real. You know what I mean? I'm not here to diss Africa. I'm not here to diss Africans. I think that's been done enough over and over again. And I think the white man diss Africa so much that we as Black people don't need to weigh in on that. We as Black people don't need to weigh in on that. Okay?
Exactly. Power to the people.
So I'm going to try and see if I can get back to Mandela. I got Mr. P. Who's also joining me. That's my brother, another mother. So I'm going to try and see if I can get Zandilla and Mr. P as well. So Mr. P, bear with me 1 sec. I'm trying to get Zandilla because nice to see you. Nice to see you.
My sister.
Yeah, he was in Gambia just recently. Who tell you for go back? Who tell you for go back? But don't tell you for stay. But anyway, Zandela, you was here recently too. Try and use another phone. Log in, use another phone. Yeah. Use a phone and log in. Yeah, come back in. I'll bring you back in. So, Mr. P, DJ
Yes,
Mr.
yes,
P.
my sister. How you doing, girl?
Me and P go way back in time.
Hey, you turned celebrity now. I can't even reach you these days, girl. What's going on? My little sister there in Gambia, can't even find her anymore. You turned celebrity.
Bro, you know what? No. I'm gonna say what it is. I'm serious about repatriation of my brothers and sisters. That's why I'm busy. That's
I know you are. I know you are, baby. I know.
You understand? You understand? Yeah.
The Honda, you know, the Honda stand.
Why the pan down? You the pan down.
No, they basically lifted it now. You know, they've basically lifted it now. It's not not as bad as. Sorry.
You ain't heard the news.
Well, here's the news.
Back into
listen.
Back into
I've
lockdown.
Never, sis. Let me show you something. You know me. I ain't even been in lockdown. I'm doing Mr. P's thing. I'm just doing my thing. Yeah. Nothing's changed for me since they started this lockdown. I'm just doing what I do. Keeping busy, and it's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy. So it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me.
So you're not standing in any queues, no? You
what?
Go to the local shop.
Are you crazy? No. I go to the supermarkets. No. Listen, I got some stories for you, my sister. Hey sis, I got some stories for you because.
All right. Come on, share. The thing is, do you think anything's going to change? You've seen these protests going on worldwide. Let's get on subject. Juliet's been messing about, you know. But seriously, you know, do you think anything's going to change? Do you understand? I see someone put a comment called Carbon Original, space on the screen, saying about logistical thinking. We did have that form, and we are rejigging our website. We're having a new website done, and we will be having that, and also in emails. And we're also going on to business WhatsApp. So you will have the opportunities to submit that, and we are going to start a skills matrix. So if you'd like to join us and you'd like to help us, Carbon Original, then you can also jump on and explain to everybody, you know, your ideas for that. So, right, next, let's get to Mr. P. Let's have this discussion. You know, do you think that white people will be walking on the street if we were asking for reparations? And do you think anything's going to change? Yeah. So, you know, George Floyd, look what the man did. Look what the man did. Yeah. I swear on God. You know, if I was there, I'd be like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be sitting there filming. Everyone would have got flying. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't have died, because I'm telling you, I had to go down for that, brother. I have to go down. I know you had a white woman and thing, yeah, and that didn't bother me. Don't get me wrong, yeah. But I have to go down for that, brother, still. Do you know what I'm saying? I have to karate kick that policeman in his head, you know. There's fight going down. If I have to lick one, if I have to take a bullet, you understand? So be it. But, you know, I think, I was brought up rough, maybe. You know what I mean? I stand in front of, I've been a rebel, you know what I'm saying? Most of my life, and I'm a little bit of a rough one, you know, a little bit of a ruffian, you know what I mean? I'm not afraid to jump in. So, you know, like you, a little bit of martial arts training makes us think that we're karate, we karate supremos. So, you know, really, I mean, the scenario with George Floyd, give me your breakdown on it. Give me your take on it. All of the riots that's going on. But, I mean, there were so many. Ahmed, Arbery, there's, gosh, you know, so
Breonna
many.
Taylor.
Even the lady.
Breonna Taylor.
That's exactly right. Breonna Taylor, the lady recently, I don't even know her name. There's so many, right? So many. And even in London, I saw the one on Saturday in Peckham. In Peckham. where they strangled a woman until she lost consciousness. And people saying, you know, get off her. She obviously lost consciousness. Not one person could lick that man in his head, right? I'm not being funny, yeah? But how did we become so cowardly? How can we stand there and watch someone die? What has happened to us? Is it, you know, are we afraid of dying? Are we afraid of sacrificing our own life for something? Our ancestors, they died for us, and they died, you know, in their droves. They even died from walking to the ships. They died in the ships. They died on the ship. And they even took their own lives and took each other's lives to stop them from going into that tyranny. I mean, Haitian Revolution. Do you know what I mean? Kim Pavita. Do you know what I mean? Harriet Tubman. You know, come on, these Zinga warriors. What's happened to our courage? What's happened to us? What is going on with us? I mean, so what's going to change?
Okay. Firstly, thank you, my dear sister, for having me on board your stream. Do appreciate that. Yeah. If this is the only way that I can get you every week, then I'll take it. It's cool.
Hey,
yeah.
Maya, you jumping in?
Huh?
Wodan Maya, can you jump in? Wodan Maya. I see Wodan Maya on the stream. I'm going to see if he can jump on, because I know you said your signal ain't too great, but everybody else isn't great either. So see if you can please jump in, Wodan Maya. But thank you for joining on the stream. We appreciate you being here. So yeah, come on then. What's happened?
So
is anything going to
firstly,
change?
thanks for having me on board, and big shout to everybody else on the broadcast. Yeah, great to see you guys here. This is a lovely little idea and a great little community forming here. Really fantastic. It's 1 week since I saw the video. I saw 2 videos of George Floyd, and I cried. I got the video last week, Wednesday. Yeah, and I sent it straight to you. I forwarded it onto you straight away. Yeah, and I forwarded it onto a few people because I said, I know they're going to take that video down, all right, because of the content. And I saw that and I said, when are we going to stop this? Because I see this as our problem. This is our problem. It's no one else's problem, because it's not happening to anybody else. It's happening to us. And how are we going to deal with this? Because as far as I'm concerned, the time for talking was over decades ago, not even years, decades ago. There's nothing to talk about. You know, you mentioned a couple of names of people that have been murdered by the police, and also got some breaking news. Breaking news. The charge of 3rd-degree murder, I heard this evening, is going to be upgraded, because they're looking to do him for 1st-degree murder, which it should have been in the first place, right? It should have been that in the first place. Yeah, because it's not what I think. It's not what Joe Bloggs thinks. The whole world saw this. Millions of people watched a man executed on social media. Okay. Now, at no point did the other police officers intervene or try to prevent what was happening at the time. And while I was watching the video, I was imagining that I was there in the crowd, because you could hear there was a small crowd of people telling the officers to back off, etc., blah blah blah, and you had that fat little ugly Chinese little git, right, standing in front, and I was looking at him and I'm saying to myself, well, how would I handle this situation? What would I do, right? What would I do if I was in that crowd? What would I do? And the thoughts that came to me immediately would be I think. All right, I'm going to answer one of your questions as well at the same time. The reason why people stood by and witnessed the murder of George Floyd is out of fear. I don't think they were able to They couldn't believe that. It's very difficult because I wasn't there. Even though I watched it, I wasn't there, so I don't know what I would have done. But I imagine it'd have been very difficult for them. Firstly, because they can't believe what they're seeing. They're seeing a brother being. Is that Wode Maya there? Is that Wode Maya?
Yeah, Wode Maya.
Hey, Wode Maya. Respect to you, man. Respect. Nice to see you, my brother.
Wode Maya. Wode Maya.
Yeah, I think he's in the village. He's got a bad line. I think he's got a rough line. I think.
You know, can you hear me?
Hang on.
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that my Wi-Fi did not disappoint me tonight. Yeah, good evening to each and everyone right now watching us, and I just wanna greet you all. And Juliet, thank you so much for inviting me on the live.
Yeah, I think he's in the village, man. Because the line is the line.
He mutes.
Yeah, but Juliet, can you just give me like 5 minutes? Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me share a message across because I did a video today, and I would love to explain myself in here because I've seen like over 400 people are watching us right now. Just 4 minutes. I'm not gonna take more than 4 minutes. Okay, so I just
listen. You can take as long as you like. Maya, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you, love.
Yeah, so I did a video telling the diaspora that don't come to Africa to look for a job, but come to Africa to create job for yourself. You know, because during my journeys in Africa, I realized that Africans themselves don't invest in their own continent. I mean, there's so many opportunities that Africans can tap into, but we are all relaxed, waiting for somebody to do it and employ us for us to work for them. So, I mean, I'm saying that the diaspora, I'm not forcing anyone to come back to Africa. I'm not saying, because somebody was saying that I'm not different from a white man telling them to go back to Africa. Please, it's not like that. I am just saying that, I even got an email, someone telling me that, hey, you telling people to move to Africa is just like a white man telling us that go back to Africa, which is an insult. And I was like, no, that is not what I mean. What I'm saying is that come home and invest. It's not like you're running away from America. We all know that America was built by immigrants. I mean, investing in Africa does not mean that you're running away from America. Look at Juliet right now. She's based in where? Gambia. She's building a home house. She got businesses, created businesses. People who want to invest in Gambia have to contact her. That is also a form of what? Job opportunity. So I'm just telling the African diaspora out there, there's so much money to make in Africa. Like the whole world's attention is on Africa right now. Juliet, let me tell you something. I lived in China for 6 years. Let me give people an example here. I lived in China for 6 years, and 6 years of living in China, I had 100,000 people to watch me. 100,000 people, yeah? But when I came to Africa just 1 year, extra 280,000 people are following me in just 1 year. So which means that the whole world attention is on Africa. So that's why I'm advising each and everyone out there, try and grab the opportunity now before it's too late. Because like our education system in Africa, you realize that so many people don't invest in their own continent. I mean, there's so many opportunities, but Africans don't see it. Africans themselves don't see it. So I'm telling the African diaspora, this is your time. The time is now. Don't waste so much time sitting there complaining about how the white supremacists are treating you, or how, the police are shooting and all that. You got a choice. And I'm not telling you to run away, but I'm telling you to secure your future. I mean, the future where you can say that, hey, my son, I built a house in this country in Africa for you. It's yours. You see, so please, let me just clarify myself in here. Just want to tell people out there, please, so don't think that Wode Maya is telling you guys that go back to Africa or something. I'm just telling you that there's so many things. You went to Sierra Leone, yeah? You went to Sierra Leone?
Yes.
Juliet, Did you go to
Oh,
number
lots of
two?
things are in Sierra Leone.
Did you go to number
Sierra
two
Leone.
beach?
Lots of things.
You went to number two?
Oh,
Number
of
two.
course, I went to Peninsula. I went
Number
to the
two
river
beach.
number 2. Oh
Thank
my
you.
God, I love it.
Look how beautiful that place is. But did you ever see, how do you call it, resorts around those areas? No. The people from Sierra Leone are waiting for a white investor to come and build resorts for them. It's happening in Gambia too. Like Gambia got so many beautiful beaches that if you check about the resort that they are building around the coastal area, it's not for black people, it's for the white people. But we Africans have seen this opportunity, but we don't want, because we feel like we need to work for somebody before we realize that we are making it in life. This is not how it's supposed to be, and it has to change now. I'm gonna tell everybody watching us right now, it's time for you. You don't need too much money to invest in Africa. Let me make this clear. Juliet, you need to, like, I want you to explain to them, let them understand, because sometimes when I'm speaking, so many people will understand. But you living in the diaspora, now you're back on the continent, your voice, they will understand you more than me. Tell them that you don't need so much money, because this is another comment that I'm reading. People are saying that you need so much money to invest in Africa. Tell them you don't need so much money. You are using dollars, pounds, euros. Your money has power in African countries, so it's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time. Bring that little money, even $500, $1,000, $2,000 can start an investment in Africa. Don't let anybody lie to you. Don't think that you have to be rich before you move to Africa. No, you don't have to be rich before you move to Africa. You can come in here, rent an apartment, even if it's 1 bedroom. Okay, 1 bedroom. You can survive in Africa. You can do the local way, the way we do it. We don't even have, like where I grew up, we don't even have washroom in our rooms and all that. But we survive. We're not gonna die. Come and secure your future in Africa before it's too late. Don't say that that village boy did not tell you. Juliet, I'm done.
You're not done. I'm not letting you go yet. The truth of the matter is that, you live in Africa. I live in Africa on a fraction of the cost that I live in, England for. I could never have built a 4-bedroom house and live in the standard of life that I live in Africa, in England. Financially, it wasn't viable. We had a huge mortgage that we had to pay off. We were paying council tax. We were also having to pay for our electricity. We had extortionate gas bills, especially in winter. We had extortionate water rates bills as well. Then we had to have, of course, our internet, plus we had to have our phones. And then you've got your house line, and then you've got your mobile phones, plus you're paying national insurance tax. Then you're also paying income tax. Then you're also paying value added tax. Then you're paying about 40 other taxes, as in revenue and everything else that you're buying. And then if you were fortunate enough to being a high earner bracket, then you're also paying super tax. So it's a catch-22, and then you have to survive. And then you're having to pay extortionate fees to go and get an Oyster card, to top up, to go on a train, to get to work. You're almost paying like 10 to 12 pounds every day, just to travel across London. It's just one big fiasco. And then if you're driving through London, you've got to worry about getting caught on a congestion charge for the same road that you've already paid road tax for. And then they've got carbon emissions. They found every reason to take money out of you. I've never seen a country like it. Any excuse to take money out of your pocket, they take it. And that's why it's hard to get out. But you can buy a piece of land here for less than £1,000. You can build a small house here for less than £3,000. Do you know what I mean? You can live here and forget that. You can build a shack for even less. You know what I mean? And live off the land. Come on now.
Exactly. So tell them.
Rhoda
Tell them
Maya.
to come back home. Tell them to come back home. It's not like yeah. Tell them to come back home. It's not like you are telling them to go back to Africa or something. No, it's just securing your future. I mean, who doesn't want to live the best life? Like I said, I don't regret living China, and I don't regret packing all my stuff, buying one-way tickets without looking back, because coming back to Africa has actually changed my life. I mean, changed my whole mindset, the way I used to think. Everything has changed right now. So whatever I'm saying to people is based on personal experience. It's not something that I read in a book or something I watched in a movie or something. Whatever I've been saying is just from personal experience. So that's why I always say those who have ears should listen. Those who have ears, maybe I might be a young boy, and I mean, I see that like there's so many elderly people who listen to me. Sometimes I look at people who watch me, I'm like, hell no, you know. But I'm just trying to say that Africa is the future, and the time is now for the entire African diaspora to grab what belongs to them. Come home. I mean, like, people are complaining about citizenship and all that. I know it's going to take time because we still have leaders that are locked up by the colonial mindset because they still don't have freedom. Like I said, if you ask me, Africa has independence. I would definitely tell you that Africa has no independence. It's going to take us some time for us to gain our independence again. There's no independence in Africa. Like, I mean, they say that, oh, we have independence, but it's just on papers. But in reality, Africa is still not independent. But that's what I'm telling you, yo. Forget about that one for now. With time, things are going to work out. With time.
Yeah.
Things are going to work out with time. You're definitely going to get that citizenship that you want. But for now, come secure your future. That's all I want to say. And I just want to tell each and everyone in here, thank you so much for the love and support. Thank you so much for supporting Juliet. Juliet needs you now more than ever. So yeah, keep on supporting her. And I really appreciate each and everyone watching us right now.
And everybody go to Rhoda Maya, subscribe. Go to Rhoda Maya's channel and subscribe, watch his lives and watch all his content. So let me just give you some feedback about your show today, because, you know, I watch Rhoda Maya. I'm interested. So I love Rhoda Maya. My husband's here. It's not like that. We love you, Rhoda Maya, don't we, Age? Yeah, we do. Right? And so, you know, how I interpreted, you know, what you were saying was that we need to come with our skills. Yeah. How I interpreted it is that we need to come to create opportunities, manufacturing opportunities, infrastructural opportunities for, you know, whole-scale production, agri-processing, education, schools. You can have a diaspora school the same way they have a Turkish school, the same way they have, you know, all different types of French schools, American schools, English schools. We can have our own diasporan school. You know, why would you, you know, want to come? Someone said to me, oh, are they teaching jobs? And I said to them, why not just come and make your own school? You know, it's not hard here. It's not hard. And I think that what Rhoda Maya is saying is that come and help to create employment.
Yeah.
We have a very young workforce here, and let's reduce unemployment by creating, you know, the opportunities that we can whilst we're here. We can make our own supermarkets. Yeah, there are Gambian supermarkets here, like, you know, King Supermarket there in Brussels. There's Huel. There's so many different supermarkets, and of course, you know, Africa is built on the shop mentality, small shop mentality. 99% of small shops here are Gambian owned. So when people are, you know, giving the impression that Africa doesn't own anything, it's not true. We still have a lot of resorts here, you know, like Bamboo Resort, Seaview Resort, Hyperlink Resort, Auntie Lily's, Jackie's and Maimuna's. You know, these are all Black owned. Some are diasporans, some are Gambians. You know, own all of these establishments and many more hotels, very plush hotels. I'm from Uncle Marley here, I haven't had a chance to interview, including like here they have Jet Oil. Jet Oil is petrol stations that are Gambian owned. Jet Gas, Gambian owned. And, you know, it's about Africans really supporting African brands and African companies and African conglomerates. You know, here you have QCell. QCell is Gambian owned. QCell provides our internet service. QCell provides phones. You know, QCell provides programs. Then you have QCity, which is you know, a huge center, like play center and activity center here, and that's what we do. But I think one of the things that's really important here in Africa is to come and see. To come and see, just come and see. It will dispel all this that they have given you about Africa.
That's it. That's it.
You know, come.
That's it. Come
Xander,
and see.
you've been.
Come and see.
You know, Woden Maya is telling
the truth. The mentality is going to change.
Right. Is Mr. P back in? Okay.
Yeah, I'm so
So,
sorry.
Angela, can we hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Angela. Yeah,
Can
we
you hear
can
me
hear
now?
you. So have you got a question for Woden Maya? You got a question for Woden Maya? And Mr. P, do you have a question for Woden Maya while he's on?
Yeah, so I have a question just for everybody. Basically, we need to set up a system so that people can feed in, exactly like I think it was Rianne said, that how do we teach, other than your channels, how do we teach people that they can invest in Africa? Because I think people that live over in the UK and in the US, they're very fearful because we've been raised to believe that Africa is full of invest your money in unless you live there. So how do we teach people about that? Because I've been to Gambia 5 times in the last 14 months and the country is amazing. There's so many opportunities all over Africa. I can only speak from my experience in Gambia. So I just want to, you know, figure out how we as a group of people can come together and maybe create one investment pot. But before we do that, we have to teach people that it is safe to invest in Gambia and show people what needs to be invested in Gambia, because like the lady said earlier, there are fantastic water systems in Gambia, there are internet companies in Gambia, several, but they need investment so that they can be exactly like how they are in the UK and in the US, that you get internet everywhere, you don't have to top up on your mobile phone. But how do we teach people that who are abroad and have never visited Africa before? Did you get that?
Well, I think part of our mission, including Woden Maya's and mine, is to actually talk about it. In fact, we had a few live streams about this, didn't we, Woden Maya? For the last few Sundays, not this Sunday, I think Sunday before and the Sunday before, which the program was about Africa Day, and then there was another one before that, which was called Invest in Africa. And I think what we need to do is we need to get together where we can trust each other and have a team. You know, Opad Nasusu.
Yeah.
You know, we need to do that where we can agree on how it's going to work. And before we invest any money, do our due diligence, do our discernment, do all our checks and balances, and, you know, do our feasibility study and treat it like a business investment. Treat it. I mean, when I was in England, I'm a business developer. That's what my job was. You know, I worked as a partnership and development manager for business. So I was able to do it for others, and I'm sure that I can do it here. And I'm not, you know,
100%.
blowing my own trumpet or anything, but you can trust me, you know what I mean? And I'm not going anywhere, that's for sure. So
I know what you're able to do, Julia. I know what you're working with. So I'm just speaking on behalf of other people because I know that you're doing lots of things in the Gambia at the moment, and your head is moving 100 miles an hour because there's so many different things that you want to do. But what's missing is the investment behind it, because you're just one person. You and Woden Maya are just 2 people. But what we need is people who subscribe to your channels, who make comments about you moving, about they want to move back. They have to work together to be able to invest in all these projects and all these ideas that you have.
No.
I feel like, you know,
He doesn't agree with me.
I was thinking that.
No. Can I jump in, please? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. My sister, it's what you're saying is admirable, and I hear what you're saying. I truly don't think that's the solution.
The solution is rebuilding Africa?
Sorry?
You don't think that the solution is rebuilding Africa?
No, the solution is rebuilding Africa. Yeah.
Okay.
But what the way you were describing it and how you went about saying the way to go forward, I don't think that's the way. Firstly, what I want to say is that it's not about money.
It's not?
No.
Why do you say that?
I'm coming to that. I'll tell you why it's not about money. First and foremost, we need structure. It's not about money. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. First and foremost, we need structure. We don't have a structure in place. So it's like setting up a business, having a business plan, or setting up a business and not having a business plan and throwing money into it and wondering why it doesn't work, right?
I disagree.
Hold on. That's the first point. Structure. I can't see a structure, right? Second point, yeah. We should not be begging or trying to convince anybody to come back to Africa, okay? I've been promoting Africa for years, right? As Jules knows. And I've been doing it slightly differently. And I've got some stuff coming, yeah? And my mindset and my theory is, if you have to sell Africa to somebody, you're doing too much work. People should want to have to come to Africa of their own will. You shouldn't have to try and convince or beg anybody. I'll tell you why. Because they're the kind of people that you probably won't want in Africa, because they're not of the same mindset of yourself. If you invite somebody to come to Africa and you have to invite them again, and you have to invite them again, and you have to invite them again, they're not interested. Leave them where they are. Yeah. The people that will be interested will come. When they come, that is when you set your structure, right? Or that is when you can get things going. Because too many of us are operating in silos, right? We're operating in our own little networks, right? And the dots haven't been joined. This is what one of the biggest issues is. There's no joining of those dots. You know, the work that my Jules has been doing, yeah, is fantastic. Thanks to Wodamaya. The work that Wodamaya has been doing is absolutely fantastic. But until we bring these elements together, okay, we're still going to be struggling in our own little silos. Yeah. So it's not a case of we need money. No, we first have to have the vision and the structure. Once we've put that in place, okay, the money will come. The money will come. But we need a dedicated team of people that have that linked up mindset and that are willing to work together for the same goal and purpose, because too many people have their own agendas. Too many people want to do their own thing. Yeah. And that's why we've got this scattered mentality. And that's why we're all over the place and everyone's going off in different directions and doing their own thing. And I was on Wodamayo's live stream about, I think, 3 weeks ago, and he was talking about what the problems were in bringing Africa together and being a united, a united people and us all coming together. And that was a very, very interesting stream. And I sent him a couple of posts, and well, I put quite a few posts up, and he even published a couple of them on the screen. So my point then, and my point is still the same, it's still now. Until we've got a structure in place, it's not just about money. Once we've got a structure, the money will always come. It's the mindset that we need to work on. A lot of us don't have the correct mindset and are going to Africa and causing problems. Jules, you know that with certain people in Gambia. I've seen issues with people in Gambia. We know that. I'm not going to mention any names. It's not about that. But if you've got the wrong mindset out in the diaspora, it's not suddenly going to change the minute you hit the motherland. It doesn't go like that. You need to work on yourself and develop that mindset and know what it is you want to do, know where it is you're going to go. Okay. And then you will by default attract the right kind of people that you need into your world. Juliet attracted Wode Maya into his world. Okay. Which is why Juliet is where she is now. Yeah. Because I'm sure Jules would have started her channel, but it was Wode Maya that gave you that initial boost and that initial kick. And it really helped you to get your channel going. And look now, 25,000 subscribers. You know, I salute you, sis. I salute you. So it's really for me about mindset.
Let me ask Wode Maya. Wode Maya.
Yeah, hi.
Wode Maya.
I'm here, Juliet.
Yeah, he can hear you, darling. He can hear you.
Hello. What
Yeah,
happened? I can't hear you.
yeah. There's an audio issue. I can see Jules talking, but I can't hear her. I can't hear you, Jules.
I also can't hear. I think the microphone is on mute or something. I can't hear anything.
Yeah, we're not hearing you, Jules.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, we can't, Jules. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. It may be her connection.
Yeah. She left. Okay.
Yeah, it may be her connection.
Sure.
Am I able to say something? Can y'all hear me?
Would love to hear from you, my sister. Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. I had the opportunity to study at the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania in 2013. I've always had a connection to the mother continent, and maybe my parents instilled that into me. And I knew that there was something more than what was shown to me in the media. But there are people who just don't believe that anything that the images that they see in the media are damning images. My mind was just blown away at some of the ignorance that I hear. But at the end of the day, that tool of the media is used by design. So it's no different than, I'll give you an example. So one of the professors at the university, she said she studied at the university, the NYU. She came to the US, studied in NYU. And one of the students that was with me that came from my university, which is Texas Southern University, said, okay, well, since you studied in the US, does it change the perception that you have of Black people in the US? Because, you know, we hear about there's this kind of disconnect between us and the continental Africans. And so she said, well, no, it doesn't really change how I feel. She said, I do feel that way. And she said, I feel that way because I feel like you don't have a culture. I look at what I see on TV, and this is a professor, but I understand it's the media though. She said, I look at what I see on TV and I see that you live in the best country in the world. You have all of these opportunities at your disposal and you choose to throw it all away and be criminals, or you want to entertain people instead of doing something viable. And so we all kind of, you know, we just kind of, our energy changed. You could feel the shifts of energy. And so she further explained, and she said, to be honest with you, I don't know your true story. She said, when I was in the US, she said she was watching the PBS broadcast network, and they were showing something about the Jewish Holocaust. And she said that, you know, she sided with what they went through. She cried with them, but she didn't know our story. She knew about, you know, slavery happened. And it's true, what we had for a very long time is just the movie Roots. And that's just showing a family and slavery is just happening, but it doesn't show the atrocities. It doesn't show the breakdown. It doesn't show the disconnect. And so I say all of that to say, just as our continental brothers and sisters see us in a particular light based on the mediated images, in their eyes, it's looking like, oh, we're just throwing away our opportunities. We don't, you know, these schools and education and careers are at our disposal, but they're not clear on what we actually go through until they actually come here and experience some of the things that we experience. And they're like, okay, well, wait a minute. I thought that there was a difference between us. I thought I was going to be treated differently. And they see that, now that they're here. And when we went there, we got a chance to see those images that we saw on TV for all of those years. I can tell you right now, I didn't see one group of kids chasing a rice truck or any kids that was, along the side of the street begging. I'm pretty sure that happens. But the way that it's shown in the media, you would think that this is just rampant throughout the continent. And that was not the experience that we had. So if we can move past what we see in the media, then that would actually help to fill in that wedge that's been drawn between us. And that wedge is there by design.
What is happening to Juliet? It seems my internet is behaving today. Okay.
Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, she got a new line put in recently. And it's probably given us some drip.
Okay. All right. So
so
me,
you can host, my friend.
Let me take over. It's okay before she comes. For me, I just want to say that I'm the host. I'm the host. You all should behave in the chat room. You all should behave. I'm the new host right now. Yeah, I heard you saying something about the system, the way we should create. It's not all about money. And I just feel like you're making so much sense, which means that if you don't have money, you cannot move to the continent. But I think some point I actually agree about what the sister too was saying. Can we just have a system where, let's talk about, where are you right now? Mr. P?
Yeah, hi, I'm in London.
Yeah, in London. You see, Mr.
Yeah.
P, I know there are a lot of African diaspora living in London that they don't know how to invest in Africa. Yeah, how to invest in Africa. Don't you think that you can do something? Let's say a workshop inviting all Africans living in diaspora. I mean, it's not by force. If you really want to attend, I can do the advertisement for you all. Juliet can also do the advertisement for you all, and then bring these people together and educate them, because I feel like some people need education about Africa. People need to know what is going on in the continent. I don't know how often do you travel to Africa, but I feel like that will also work. I think that was what the sister was trying to say, that apart from Juliet, apart from Wadamaya, is there anyone who's also doing something to, educate brothers and sisters who want to invest in the continent? So I feel like if you live in London, and then you've been doing all these things, like you've been on the continent, you know how investment on the continent is like. I feel like we can create a platform in London where you create a workshop to educate people. And that one is not going to be by force. Those who want to come to invest, you come and invest. You're not going to force them, but I feel like people need education though.
And this was my point. Wadamaya. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, it can work and it will work. I'm sure it will work. Thing is, what we don't want, and this is what I was saying to Jules. I think I was saying this before. She fell off the stream. Yeah. Was we cannot afford to start importing the negative mindsets that have developed within the diaspora and that have kept us where we are in the diaspora. I'm not just talking about people with negative mindsets. I'm talking about the thieves, the robbers, the burglars, the rapists, the drug dealers. These are the people that have destroyed our communities and are continually destroying our communities right now as we speak. We don't want to invite those kind of people over to Jamaica. Over to Africa. I see it. Yeah, I see it as a second chance. A second chance in life, yeah, to go to Africa and start again. But it's only going to work if we've got the right kind of people around us. Because as we know, I'm in and out of Africa all the time. I've been going to Africa since 2008, and Africa's got its problems, but we don't want to add to them. We don't want to bring all of the crap that's going on over here and bring it over to Gambia and or Africa. And this is what I was saying to Jules earlier on. I said some of the people that are causing problems over here are already in Gambia, and I suspect in many of the other countries, and they're bringing their rubbish and their crap over there, and we don't want that. Okay, we don't want that. We want to show some respect to the motherland. We want to show some respect to the people. We're not coming there to live large. We're not coming there to take. Okay, we're returning back home, and we're bringing the skills, the talents, and the gifts, the God-given gifts that we've been that we've not only been given, but we've developed and nurtured within the diaspora to come back to help to rebuild. So we're not coming to add to the problems that are already there. We're coming to build, grow, and develop what's there. And this is a brother even told me, a very well-educated Gambian brother who's actually a lawyer. He even said to me, he said, P, the work you're doing is great, right? But the thing is, we need more people like you in Gambia. We need more people like you in Africa, all right? Because you guys in the diaspora are the missing jigsaw pieces. You guys are the missing jigsaw pieces. Okay, Africa is not just going to develop itself. You guys are needed to come back to bring what you have and reinvest in Africa. And I couldn't agree with him more. And that's why I'm saying, if we come back to Africa, we've got to come with the right mindset. We've got to come with the right mindset, because if we go there with the wrong mindset, we're just going to create more crap. The same crap we created here, we're going to do it in Africa, and we will be a part of the problem and not a part of the solution. So my sister in the States, I hear what you were saying. It is about education or re-education. I was saying that on what in my stream, I was saying, yeah, it's education, education, education. I don't mean go to college and get a degree. I don't mean that. I'm talking about getting on a plane and going over to Africa and seeing for yourself and bringing that experience and that evidence back to within the diaspora, speaking to people that you know, that are like-minded, that are clued up, that are serious, that have had enough of living in this flipping prison.
Like Juliet.
Yeah, England is a dump. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, living in this damn dump. Yeah, and seeing the opportunities, because the first time I went to Africa was 2008, and I said, wow. I need to come back. And ever since, I've been going back ever since. And I'm in and out of Gambia. A lot of people in Gambia know me. Even Yahya Jammeh, even the previous president, he knows who I am. So, having those connections helps, and being known helps. All right. And that's going to, I've been trying to organize a trip for the last 3 years. Every year something goes wrong. Last year, what happened was the airline Luganese, Thomas Cook, they went bust. So the trip didn't go ahead. So I've said to myself, 3 times I've tried to put on that trip to Gambia. Maybe it's not meant to happen, or maybe I'm going about it the wrong way. So really and truly, I think what's happened now with Jules being in Gambia, Jules and Adrian and family being in Gambia, and the link up with Wode Maya, I think that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, because had that not happened, we wouldn't be talking now. I doubt very much we would even be having this live stream right here, right now. So it's forums such as this that are going to create that platform and that connectivity for people to really take a good look at their lives, where they are, take stock of what's going on, and say to themselves, you know what, it's really time to make a move.
Can I just interject quickly? So I'm sorry to interrupt you. I want to go back to your comment that you said earlier, which was about that finances are not important, because I completely disagree.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, you
That's not
said
what I
that there
said.
needs to be structure. There needs to be structure first before there are finances. But if
Yeah,
you
but I
look at the
didn't say
setup of
finances
any
are not
village,
important.
okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
but
Let me just finish my. Let
I
me just
never
finish
said.
my
Hold on. I
point.
just wanted to
I'm
correct
just
you.
saying.
My sister.
Okay.
I just wanted to correct you. You said that I said finances are not important, and I just wanted to correct you to say
No, you
I
said that.
never said finances are not important.
No,
Finances
you
are
said that.
very important.
Okay, so what I am saying, yeah, is that Juliet's platform and Wodemaya's platform, they are amazing because they are shining a light on the conversation that needed to be had years and years and years ago, even before my generation. But what also needs to happen is we need to look at the structure of any business or any village or anything. So if you look at a village, someone has to teach the village, someone has to feed the village. So agriculture needs to happen. Someone needs to build the village. Someone has to finance the village. So while these conversations are happening and more people are joining these platforms, there needs to be something in place that allows people to input their money, their finances, whether that's £10, that's £50, whether that's £10,000. There needs to be some sort of financial system in place so that we are doing everything all together, because I believe it's great having conversations, but we've been having conversations about Africa for generations and generations. And this generation are finally opening their eyes and going back to the continent and realizing that actually they do have running water, they do have street lights, they do have toilets that flush. We are waking up and we are realizing that what we've been taught is not correct. But what happens is when you get on these platforms and you have these conversations, Juliet has so many ideas of ways to bring people back to the continent for cheap, but she cannot do that herself. Someone has to finance the movement. And that's all I was saying is I run a 7-figure business. I look at business ideas and I see Africa as a business. Trust me, all the other races in the world have used Africa as a business. So we need to start doing the exact same thing. We need to look at Africa, look at the small man that has a corner shop and come together. Why can't we build a massive Tesco's or an Asda or companies like that? Why don't we have stores where we can go and you can hire building material? But someone has to finance that. And that's all I was saying with my point. I wasn't saying that finance is the only thing that needs to happen. I was saying that there are core people who are already in this game. Juliet, Wodemaya, yourself, you guys are already in the game. You're already shining a light on what needs to be said unapologetically, but someone has to finance it. And the only way we can do that is if we also come together and we put money together and we start financing the rebuild of Africa.
No.
Again,
My sister, what I'm disagreeing with, I'm not saying what you said is wrong. What I am saying is you're putting
one sec. Am I still moving?
Yeah, we can. No, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, darling. We can hear you.
No anymore. P.
Yes, darling.
Yay!
We can hear you.
The internet is. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's your line. It's your line, darling.
Right, it was fine. Honest, yeah. Yeah, let me explain to you, yeah.
You're going in and out. It's
Before anyone can do anything, you have to think.
No, can't hear you, Jules. You can't. Not hearing you. Not hearing you.
Okay. There's a structure to everything. Now, what my sister is saying,
not hearing you, darling,
yeah, is that before we can start anything, we need a financial foundation. We need a financial foundation, because once you have a financial foundation,
you have independence.
Anything from that.
Jules.
You are independent from other
That
people
is
who
what
are
she's
already there.
All right.
Before
My
the
sister,
horse.
I hear you, Jules.
Let me land.
Jules.
Yeah.
Jules, I know that money.
Right?
All right, I know that money makes the world go round. I'm not saying we don't need money. Of course, we need money to get anything done. I understand that. What I'm saying is, right, as a people, one of the biggest issues that we have is a lack of trust. That's the first problem. So don't even talk to black people about money. How many of us?
I disagree with you. Not this generation.
Hold on, hear me out.
Wait,
How many of
hold
us?
this, stop this. Wait. I'm gonna let me finish that. No, P, let me land.
Not hearing you.
Yeah?
Not hearing you,
Let me
sis.
land. Yeah?
Not hearing you.
Let me explain, right? I see Black industries thrive. I see Black companies thrive. I see excellence in big industries, multi-billion industries that are run by Black people, for Black people, and employ Black people. Okay? And the structure in place is based on not trust. And I think that's what's important, right? Trust is being friends, business structures that are put into place essentially. Yeah, there might be a delay.
No,
There is
not,
a
not
delay,
hearing you,
yes.
darling. Not
They
hearing you.
have mergers and hostile takeovers.
100%.
It's
the
not
line-
about trust.
I can't hear you, Juliet.
You understand?
not
Because
hearing
you know
you.
your money is secure in that bank. Your
Can't
money is
hear you.
secure in that bank.
Can't hear you, darling. Your line's terrible.
Yeah, you're going in and out.
You're going
Yeah.
in and out.
The line is bad, darling. The line's terrible.
Okay.
If I could
Well,
chime
listen,
in quickly.
Wait, is it
That's what I was up.
Zandela?
Zandela Sector, yes.
Zandela. All I was saying was it's just you seem to be putting the cart before the horse. That's
No,
all
not
I was
at all.
saying.
No, not at all.
That's all
Structure will come. Structure will come. I am telling you, structure will come because if you run a large organization, there are different people that run different sections of the organization. You can't just bring Black people together to build the structure. One group of people build the structure. One people build the platform that educates and highlights it to people. One set of people feed into the structure their different expertise, and then the other set of people put together and put their finances in. Everything needs to happen at one time. That's what I'm saying.
No. First and foremost, hold on, hear me out. If you have a business, right? We first need to know, right, what the idea is. Okay? You can only invest into an idea.
The idea is move back to Africa. The idea is leave the West and go back to Africa.
No, I know that, and I agree with that. What I'm talking about is, from an idea, you formulate a plan. The plan has a structure, right? So in that plan, we can say, right, let's say, for example, we're going to build a block of apartments. You can't just get a bunch of builders and say, here's 10 million Delassie. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that Julia already has the ideas, but she cannot implement those ideas because she doesn't have the finances behind those ideas. So I know what you're saying. Trust me, I run 2 companies. I know what you are saying. You have to have a plan, and then you have to have an action, and then you have to have the finances that can implement that plan. I understand what you are saying, but what I am saying is you cannot ask all Black people to come together to create the plan. Because that doesn't, then there's no one focusing on who's going to finance the plan. There's no one financing on who's going to build the plan.
My sister, I never said just...
people are already in place. They're already in place.
May I say something really quickly? Because I feel like it's really important. I don't want us to have to talk in circles, and we have a broad audience right now.
That's where it's going, yeah. That's where it's going.
I'm not hosting, but I do want something to come of this of substance. And I feel like we have a blueprint because certain things have already been done before. And we can look at that blueprint and see what has worked and what did not work. From the States, from my perspective, I know about Marcus Garvey. I know that he had multiple donors for his efforts to transport African people throughout the diaspora back to the continent. Where it went wrong, infiltrators. Where it went wrong, lack of trust. Where it went wrong, people not knowing what to do. So we have a blueprint. And history is going to help us with that. So it's going to, like the sister was saying, Zandela was saying, we can do it, but it's gonna take it could be you. You could be Dr. Hold on, DJ Mr. P. I don't have my glasses. DJ Mr. P. But listen, come up with a plan. And that's how companies work. Somebody comes up with a plan, there's a meeting, and people will say strategically, let's pick apart this plan and see what's going to work. Let's do the risk management. Let's see how it could possibly fail. Let's create the safety net. So we can do that. We're the most creative people on the planet. Nobody's going to tell me that we can't do it.
My sister, that's what I said that's what I meant when I said structure. How are we going to do what we're going to do? Let's put some kind of plan together. Yes, there is a blueprint, from our forefathers and ancestors. I agree with you 100%, All I'm saying is let's structure what it is we're going to do. When we know what we're going to do, right, then we can implement. But if we don't know exactly what we're going to implement, and that's why I was giving the example of building a block of apartments. You can't just say to 20 builders, here's 10 million Delassie built. They're going to say, well, how many rooms do you want? What size is it going to be? What are the plans? Oh, is there a basement? That's what I'm talking about. Once they have a plan to work from, they can do the work.
Well,
and once we have a plan or a structure,
to start small, because you need a buy-in opportunity. So you have to start small, and you can say, well, see, this is how it's going to work. We can build from here. One of the things
that's why I said
is what a lot of other So the Jewish people, for example, they have something called the birthright. Every person, I think it's between 18 and 32, are required to take a trip to Israel, and it's funded by Israel for them to take that trip, and there are certain stipulations in place. So you can't just be one of us saying, oh, I want to take up on your birthright. No. There's certain particular stipulations that have to be in place. So with whatever plan that comes up, it would be completely disrespectful if we don't include whatever country we're trying to have people to visit or to tour or whatever the case may be. They have to be in on it, but we also have to keep in mind, because we still have to refer to history. We cannot have people to derail what we're doing, because that has been so easily derailing us for centuries, and I'm over that. I'm so beyond it at this point. So, but yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I'm gonna go back on mute so somebody else can take up on it.
I just wanted to add on to what my sister was saying, and that was powerful, because that's really what it is. It's this what we're doing, what's happening, because we're not doing it. It is a movement that is happening. Our ancestors are propelling it, and we all need to understand that what's happening is something that it's moving parts. There's going to be a lot of different parts being moved. Some of them we may not like. We see them happening. I'm gonna be completely honest. There are a couple of YouTubers that I follow. Some of them I may say, what are they doing down there? They have their people. They have a voice. They have a group of people that need to hear them for whatever reason. Everything is moving as it should. We have to put faith in the ancestors. We have to understand that what is happening is bigger than us, and you do your job. It's just like when you go into a company. I work here in the US, and when I go into the building, this company, they hire many different people to do different things. But when I go into that job, I'm making sure that I do my part right. And, I have different people that come and go out of the team. It doesn't matter who comes, who goes, who gets fired, who fires themselves. As long as you're doing your part, that job is going to get done. And that's how we need to see this. This is a movement. It is greater than us. It is something that is above us all. I know that I'm being called home. Juliet was called home. It brings you to tears when you're sitting here, like I'm sitting in the diaspora, I'm sitting here in America, and it's some nights I get up at 3:00 in the morning because I'm like, oh my God, I got to figure out how to get home. It's a spiritual movement. Because it's going to be a little hard. It's going to be a struggle, but you're being pulled to go home. So we need to look at it from that perspective. I wanted to address something that the brother said about It's got to be the good. It's got to be the it can't be the this, and it can't be that kind of person. We don't have to sift these people.
No,
they're gonna sift themselves out.
Mm-hmm. And you will get the good. You will get the people that are hardworking, the people that know how to build for themselves, the people who are, I'm no disrespect to people who are on welfare or who are on benefits, but the people who are awake now and who are looking at Africa as their future for their children and themselves, they are the people who want better for themselves, not the type of people who are sitting around robbing people and who are criminals. They're not the type of people who are looking at Africa as an opportunity and looking at Africa as the future for their family and their children.
I have to remind you guys, I am a fan of Malcolm X. He was a criminal. I'm sorry. They can be changed.
100%.
They can be shifted. Malcolm X was a criminal.
And that's what you guys are doing.
Would we not want him to come?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Some of these criminals, we're going to need them for wartime.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of times with criminality, it's a lack of opportunity. It's a lack of exposure. I grew up in the hood. And I've seen some of the most brilliant people who I just knew they were going to be like doctors and just at the top tier. And because of lack of opportunity, because of lack of exposure, I don't know, if anybody's watching this live or anything, if the show that, I don't know if it broadcasts in the UK or anything, there's a show called Scared Straight. So there's these kids who, lack of opportunity, lack of exposure. No one's told them what their options are because in the media, they just like it's broadcast around the world what we're supposed to be like. A lot of us fall into that. Oh, okay, I see me on TV. I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. So instead of taking these kids to a university, instead of taking them to a corporation and showing them you could own something like this, or you could go to a university and you could learn something about whatever. You take them to a prison and you tell them, oh, this is going to be your future if you don't straighten up. Okay, so what does it mean to straighten up? And so that is a lot of us, those that do know better, because in large, we don't take the time to say, let me take this baby under my wing. A lot
of crime comes from poverty. Even in the Gambia, Gambia is not exempt from crime. Right. There is crime everywhere. And when people are in poverty, they look for opportunities anywhere. So if we go to Gambia and we build companies, I'm not talking about just a small corporation that's just me who works there or just me and my sister. I'm talking about large organizations. Copy what has been built in the West and bring it over to Gambia. And then before you know it, in a year, 2 years time, you're employing 100 people, 200 people. And then you are reducing the poverty in that country and building up the economy. And you're also showing people from the diaspora, you can come over here and do the exact same thing.
Absolutely. And not only that, we all know that our mother continent bears natural resources. The citizens of those countries need to be receiving residuals from those resources, because for far too long they've been siphoned out. And that's 100%. A problem for me that I've had for a very long time. And so I feel like in waves, of course, because nothing can be done overnight, but in waves, eventually that's going to have to be phased completely out. And I don't want to step on any of the leaders' toes or anything like that in those particular countries, but they're going to have to understand that your payout, and perhaps if you're getting a payout from those who siphon those resources, it would be much greater for you to understand that for your people to be receiving residuals and
they need to be
and revenue.
Yeah, and that comes with wealth also. So that's also finance. Finance also brings independence. You can say, actually, I don't want to trade with you because this fair trade is not fair at all. So if Gambia has money, or the whole continent of Africa has wealth that they have built for themselves, they can pick, choose, and refuse who they want to trade with. But we have to go back. We cannot any longer just sit over in the West and build our big organizations and then go home at night and cry because actually You felt like shit in work today. Excuse my French. You know, the people treated you like you were less. It's pure English. You know, the people treated you like you were less than, and you're in there, you're busting your ass, and you're working every single day, and you go home and you feel depressed. I, like Juliet, had a call in for a whole year before I decided to pick up and go to Gambia. Everybody who I met was talking about Gambia. My trainer had been 11 times, 9 times. I was like, how comes everybody has been to Gambia, but no one talks about it? Because they weren't awake. They were just going out on holiday, coming back home. The minute I stepped foot in Gambia, I said, yeah, let me put together an exit plan, because I have to live in this country. I have to raise my children in a country where people love you just because of the color of your skin. So I think we have to look at it as a business. It's a massive organization, and it's going to take a lot of people and a lot of organizing, a lot of finances, a lot of education for it to happen. But the ball is already in motion.
Yeah,
it's already
rolling.
happening.
It's rolling. And I also, and to refer to history again, we had a great, amazing, and for those of you who don't know, you should look up this great ancestor at this point, Dr.
Juliet, I can talk for about an hour. Sorry, Juliet.
Dr. John Henry Clark said that Africa doesn't need anybody or anything.
Hey.
He warned, if China ever gets her hands on Africa, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be, they had imperialism, now it's going to be imperialism. So you need to decide what you're going to do for Mama Africa at this point, because the Chinese are coming in. Now we could follow the Chinese's blueprint, because for what was
Juliet,
it?
your mic, we can't hear you. You keep on going in and out.
But for 60 years, China closed its borders. They isolated themselves. Africa, and even though we don't want to be closed out, I know I certainly don't. But if Africa in large closes its borders, it'll be on point. The whole thing. Okay, I'm timing out. I know Juliet, we're gonna try to give her a chance to talk. Or then again, I don't know how long ago she did that. Are you back, Juliet? We can't hear anything. We can see you though. And she is still, not.
Time out.
Yes, a lag. Juliet, are you able to log off and log back in, or
See you later.
Out?
Close it. Yes. End broadcast.